Oh my God. I forget the words. Hi everyone. Hi. And welcome. Oh, wait, let me fix that. I don't know why, but my freaking mic is in shambles. It's in shambles soup. All right. Let me try. Sorry. Technical difficulties. All right. Hi everyone, and welcome to Sleepy Idol, a little bar on 34th and Crenshaw where you can sit back, you can relax, you can talk K-pop with your friends. Jazz, how are you doing this wonderful evening at the bar?
I'm good.
We're twinning finally.
Good.
We both got the purple background. Listen,
That's good.
our
You
production's
finally
going.
caught up,
How
Anyway.
dare? How dare? First of all, I had the purple first, all right, and then
And yet, where'd it go?
Jazz was like, let me
Where was it?
real quick. Jazz was like, she was like, and
No,
used
I thought
me.
I was joining in, and then you were like, it's like, and then I was like, okay, I guess it's just me.
That's because I got really, really lazy at like with like everything. Because I always was like, okay, well, if I set all this stuff up, it will take me like 10 extra days, and like I'm already always late. Like 10 extra days to set up, and I'm always already late
So
on top of that.
what? The lights?
Set up the light, like I have to do so much before like I go live. Not only for this show, I think it's even more so for this show, but any show. Like one day I'll show you guys like my setup. It looks very simple, but I feel like the average person
You
that
move stuff?
yeah, like because the thing is my setup
Oh,
that I have for my computer, like for my streaming stuff, it's also like the same area I use for my everyday work stuff. So I have to like switch HDMI cables, like move things like out of the way so I can use it properly. So it's a lot of like, stuff that I have to set up, and it's just like between like making sure the camera's on, making sure it's like putting the right thingy in my PC, making sure like it's working, making sure everything that I set it up last time like it's the same, making sure the lights are
mhm.
working, like making sure the temperature of the lights are right, the intensity of the lights are right. Like that's why I like streaming in the morning, but I also loathe streaming in the morning because it's like setting up everything so it looks right for a morning stream when sunlight is factored in is very hard because you just
Yeah.
look different. And I'm always like, "Oh my God, I look so bad in these morning streams." But that's cuz like my camera's like attuned for like a like pitch black basically. Anyway,
Mhm.
that being said, hello everyone. Thank you for noticing, Andre. Yes, I was trying to do my Y2K bestest with the hat. I realized the hat's kind of Y2K. I just like it because it's crochet, but I'm a little stylish. I'm a fashion
Okay. All
fashion
right,
icon.
calm down there.
Um
Slow
Thank
your roll.
you. Also, hello, Leanne, Best Mod, and Tao. How are you doing? Jazz says, I do it better, Mama's tea. How dare? How dare?
I mean, I didn't say
Listen,
it.
I'm trying my best out here. So how's everyone doing? Jazz, this is our live vicariously through Jazz, our shoe minute version. So what did you do this week?
I literally don't do anything.
I just don't believe that because you'll say that and you're like,
I
oh wait, I went to
don't.
Jamaica. My bad.
Oh
Anyway.
gosh, no. Literally, I drive to work, and I feel like that takes up a lot of my time now
Oh
because I have
no.
to go to work now. And then I also my gym trainer, he left in the beginning of the year, so now I haven't gone to the gym in like a month. It's so bad,
Oh
and I was
no.
like, maybe this is a test to see if I'll work out by myself. I've worked out once, and it was for 10 minutes. Like I walk more, but that's it.
Was this the trainer with all the drama of like leaving the gym and
Yeah,
secretly? Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
That's pretty wild. Yeah. That would be so funny if this was all just a ruse and he was just like, we'll see if Jasmine truly is about the cause. And he's like hiding behind like a lamppost waiting to see if you come into the gym. Um,
Oh god.
Leanne says, I dropped my phone on my toe 10 minutes ago and it started bleeding. Jeez. Oh no.
Your
Did you have
phone?
a katana phone?
The
What's
heck
going
did you?
on?
Yeah, I was gonna say you have spikes on your phone that you just like.
Oh,
What just
sorry,
happened?
Leanne. I'm so
Whoa!
sorry. That's so bad. Andre said, when is Jazz joining the anime club and when is that starting up again? Well, I'll let Jazz you answer the first
Let me
question.
pick a show I want.
Uh,
Sorry.
She said the shows we're picking aren't aren't good enough, y'all. She's
I'm
dragging us.
kidding. I also don't remember what you picked. Well, you picked School Days, so yeah, no, but it's a show I
Stop.
want.
We
So
listen. We watched so many things. We watched School Days. We watched Orange High School Host Club. Goated
yeah,
show. We
I've
watched Death Parade.
never been into that.
Orange High School Host Club.
Yeah, I never got into that.
Did you watch?
It always looked weird. I don't like the art. It's the same for Fruits Basket. I didn't like the art for Fruits Basket, so I never watched Fruits Basket. I have to like how it looks,
I
and
gotta
if it
go.
looks like, well, actually, no, that's a lie because I watched One Piece for a good
Yeah, I was gonna.
time,
Yeah, that's up
and
there.
that's. But it was like it came on at 10 p.m. on weekdays, and I'd be like, Gaio, Gaio, like trying to go to sleep, but I'd be watching it. It was great.
Okay,
And
so
the rap was so good for that.
honestly,
So that
truly,
kept me in. It drew me in, and I was like, I gotta watch the rest.
honestly, truly, I was actually talking about that with a friend. Like, it's so funny because like people drag that like 4 Kids dub of One Piece, but like it gave us Geigo
Do
Geigo,
they?
so yeah, they think it was bad.
I thought it was fine.
I think a lot of people thought it was
Maybe
like,
it's because I grew up with it.
yeah, that's I feel like that's a thing. Like, I'm not very picky when I don't think previously, like when I first started watching anime, I was super picky when it came to dubs, but I think like I've definitely like came across some just doo trash dubs like Lookism, my homegirl Lookism, that manhwa about the guy who switches between like a really hot body and a
Is
really
that a dub?
they have a dub. They have a dub.
But I thought it was already in English for some reason.
I think it's
Like
a
they.
I think the original is in Korean and then it's dubbed in English and then I think it has other dubs too, but I've only ever listened to Korean with
I don't know
subtitles.
why.
Yeah.
I guess because it's Netflix, and I was like, I don't know.
It was so bad. Like no shade to the actors because you're doing what I'm not. Like I'm
He's
sitting
shading
here.
them. It's okay.
Well, if the shade fits.
Mm.
But like it is so bad. I was like, I can't do this. Like I cannot do this. It's literally he's like, hey Junwan, what were you doing? Like it was just like, what did y'all start
They
your
didn't
voice
have
acting
enough
career
budget.
yesterday?
That's the problem.
That's what I'm thinking. Like it's giving me like when Squid Game got popular and people who like never like watched like non like this is the first time where they would have to choose between watching subtitles or watching a dub, and so they foolishly chose the dub and they're like, oh, this dub is so bad because it was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna win. Like it was just like it was dubbed by people who
I
probably
thought it
don't
was
know.
like fine until what's his name came up. The guy, what's his name? Gong Yu or whatever his name is. The
The
actor.
main character,
No, the guy with the briefcase. Because I've only seen the first
Gong Yu.
half of the first episode. Yeah, I was right. Okay, Gong Yu. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When he came up, I was like, that's not how this man sounds. So, and then that's when I stopped watching because I was like, I have to watch this in Korean. And then I was like, I don't want to like read subtitles. So then I never went back. And now here we are
And
today.
this is why you missed an era of when Squid Game was that girl and you did not get to participate
Well,
because you didn't watch it. Mm-hmm.
I feel like I got enough. I understood
How
enough to get
dare.
the memes,
How
whatnot.
dare. Honestly, that's
You
kind of
know.
funny because that was one of our anime club things we watched. We had one anime club week where we just talked about Squid Game in like full tea.
And that's why I'm not in it.
Well, there you go for it, folks. She said once y'all get some taste, I'll consider it. Until then,
No, that
it's not
because
happening.
I can't watch. I didn't watch it, so I can't even partake.
Actually, I was kind of thinking about like revising the format to maybe like focus on more short form. Like obviously like 12 like is probably like not the shortest you can go. I've seen some like 6 episode like 3
Mm,
OVA type thing, but like it's
no.
like the shortest you can go when it's like average or whatever. But I was like
So
maybe if we
Magical Girl Madoka is what we're gonna watch.
Oh my god, did we watch that? Why am I saying it like this? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Guys, I have a secret. I'm actually British. But is that 12 episodes?
I think so. I don't know why I feel like that's wrong now. Suddenly, it might be 24.
Yeah, I was gonna say it seems like it would be longer, but then at the same time, it seems like it wouldn't be longer. I'm gonna run through the rest of the comments while you look that up. Tal says, I literally don't do anything. I stay home, do some internet research, eat. True and facts. That's just like my Usual day. Ooh, I stay home and binge that 90s show. Were you a that 70s show fan,
It's
Jazz?
12 episodes. Oh,
Mm.
I watched the first episode of 90s show. I haven't gotten a chance to go back to watch the rest, but it was pretty good at first.
Mm.
I love that 70s show though. Like I love that show. It was
Mm.
very good show to just put on when you're bored.
Yeah, I haven't watched it, but like my brother, I remember like one summer he was like marathoning it, and I just kind of like would hear it in the background when I'd go past. I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
this is pretty funny. Like it's kind of like in the vein of like How I Met Your Mother type, like
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. But yeah, yeah. I haven't watched it. I haven't tried to watch it just because I was like maybe I should watch. I mean, I know the gist of like what that 70s shows was, but I didn't watch it in depth. But I've seen a lot of
Mhm.
people being like, "Is this the best like sequel reboot of a show to ever exist on planet Earth as we know it?" And I'm like,
Oh, people really. I was trying to avoid like what people were saying, just
mm-hmm.
in case it like phased what I felt about it.
Mm.
But best. Are there that many
I
to like,
cannot.
compare to?
I mean, funny enough, with How I Met Your Mother, there's How I Met Your Father.
Oh yeah, that one's pretty good.
Oh, you've watched it?
I've only watched the first like 6 episodes though. The second season's coming back though.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. It was like promoting on my like Hulu, and I was like, I forgot this existed, but
Yeah, so did I.
I haven't heard anything particularly bad about it, so I guess that's good.
Yeah.
Um, Andre's like, well, if you join Jazz, then you could suggest what we watched, girl.
Or I join when I can just pick what we
No,
watched.
imagine we give her like carte blanche, like we're like, you can just tell us what to watch, girl.
Yes,
Okay, so if
that's the
y'all
only
are up for
way.
that. Hello, LD. How are you doing, sweets? Yes, it says long time no see, not long time no talk. I will say, I feel like I quietly quit having them on Thursday, I mean on Fridays, and now we're just kind of on Saturdays. But I just feel like it's just so much like I always feel rushed to get things together when we do it on Friday because it's like
Mhm.
after a work day. But like with
Yeah,
Saturday, it's like, oh, I can use the Saturday to finalize, the topic sheet and stuff like that. So, but I'm glad
that's
you can
true.
make it. Um, I don't know, like I feel like is Madoka Magica? I feel like it would be good in
It's
terms
12
of
episodes. So,
that's true. I feel like I would go because my whole problem was that when would do anime club, I would write literally paragraphs, and I feel like with Madoka Magica, I would or is it Magica
you write a
Madoka?
book?
Yes, I'm like so four score 7 years ago, and it'd be like
And
4 minutes
that's the
in.
point. There's so much discussion you can get from that show. Just like with Steins Gate. So how about we do Steins Gate first?
Never. You mean snooze
And
gate?
then, how dare you? How dare. Such a great show.
I'm sure it is. The thing is, I don't doubt because I saw on my anime list, it's pretty
It's like
high.
number one.
Yeah, and so I'm just like,
Or it was number one.
but it
Yeah.
just was taking so long for me to get to a point I cared, and I was just like,
See, you're
I'm
going in with this attitude of like, I'm just saying, you think that
mhm.
it's going to be like amazing, amazing. It's not going to be amazing, amazing at first. You got to like go in thinking like it's going to have an amazing ending. So you got to get to the end.
I don't know. I mean, I trust that it does get good, but I'm like, am I ready to put in the work? Like the One Piece fans who are like, okay, so you just have to
Oh
watch
gosh,
40
it's not
episodes.
One Piece. It's literally what 20 episodes.
They're like, wait till episode
One Piece is like
345
literally
and it will
20
eat.
times that length.
I remember for what was it? The one with the sword, Asta and his homegirl. What?
Zoro?
Yuri? No, it's an anime. Black Clover. The girls were saying I need to watch 44 episodes. I said, what? How many episodes did
How
that
about
turn?
Hunter x Hunter? I think that's like more than that.
Hunter x Hunter, I think it was good from episode 1. Like it did not take me a long time to get into Hunter.
Oh.
Yeah, Gone Freaks. Who's no,
Oh,
Leorio is my
Killua.
fave. I don't understand why people like Killua so much. He seems like
What?
a demon.
Killua's the best. What?
I don't like, he's annoying. I'm sorry, we're putting it out there. Well, you know what? No, because this is the
all
anime
right,
club discussion.
we
This is
gotta
the
cancel
anime.
this. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
This is the anime club discussion. So yes, let's move
And
on.
it's incorrect. You failed. I don't know how you did it,
I
but that was an open forum, but you failed it.
It's so funny, like, knowing about anime for a really, really long time. And so I know how, like, the fandom or, like, the anime, like, in general fandom feels about them at large. And then when I finally see it, I'm like, this person's kind of a flop. What do you all mean? Like, oh,
Well, see, that's your problem. You went in already knowing about this show. I watched Hunter x Hunter, like the old one, before like I
like
knew
the
anything. Like I
1990s
wasn't
one?
going.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
like I like I used to love the opening. It's such a great opening, the first one. But like I love Killua from that. I was like, he is so freaking cool. Like he literally took a person's heart out in like a split second. I was like, he is so cool. He is cool.
I just am not a
And that
fan,
is my
girls. I'm sorry. And then also, the clown, Hikura,
oh, he's out here. No, he's disgusting.
he literally needs to be in jail. And y'all openly
Well,
stand on my
yeah,
TL all the time. So I need an explanation. I do.
because it's funny because he should be in jail.
Exactly. Like, I do not
It's
understand
just like what the fudge.
the thirst I would see for this man, like on Twitter.
Thirst. Who's thirsting for this man?
Yes, thirst. The stanation I saw for this man.
Ugh.
I was like, okay, like, interesting, silhouette, interesting, like, outfit and stuff. And then he turns out to actually need to go to jail or be on some kind of list. I don't get y'all.
Interesting.
Anyway, so this is actually a K-pop show. But y'all, we can have these conversations if Jasmine just, I was thinking
If
though,
we pick
the
a good
first
show.
the first thing back could be Death Note, the live action with the Naked Brothers band and brother. Because
Didn't we watch that?
we could watch it. It's anime adjacent.
No, I mean I think we watched it.
Me and you.
Or maybe
I
you
think
weren't
we
paying
watched
attention.
it, but I don't think I watched it for here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like that would be fun because it's short. It's, it's more for the kiki than really like the analyzation. But I will
Okay,
say,
good. Because I was gonna
like
say I
it.
can't compare it to the actual one because I've never seen Death Note.
Oh, and that's perfect because I feel like it would give us like a different perspective because I feel like that's the reason why a lot of people hate. Okay, there's a lot of reasons people hate it. Listen, people don't come for me, but I feel like that's a big reason why people, really don't like it because there's the automatic comparison. But like I've always had my like opinions on it that while I don't think it's great, I do think that a lot of the hate just becomes from the fact that it's not exactly like the one we
source.
originally, yeah, the source, which I don't necessarily think should always be seen as bad, right? Like
Yeah.
it is very interesting to be like, okay, what if Death Note took a place in a different country, in a different culture and stuff like that, with some people who are good at acting and some people who are bad at acting. Like it's really deep in that regard.
Wow.
Yeah.
You
Listen.
couldn't hold it back. The drag.
Tao, it is from a manga anime source, so I feel like it falls in. Like if we had news this was coming out, it would be something we talked about on Anime Club. So
we should instead watch the Dragon Ball Z movie.
oh my gosh, the thing is, I don't like Dragon Ball Z, so I would not like this movie.
Well, I feel like this movie is also not for the people that like Dragon Ball Z. So
maybe I like a nice laugh because some of the wigs.
I think it was like really bad. I mean, it was like not good.
Okay, we could.
I've never seen it though.
That'd be interesting. All right. Well, let's get started, guys. So welcome again to the Sleepy Idol. Today we have a full menu. We'll be talking about NewJeans and the fact that are they the best to ever have done it?
Sorry.
And how they're getting the girls mad. We'll talk about their creator, I guess, Min Hee Jin, and how a recent interview she's done has people questioning, whether she's taking too much of a, visible approach when it comes to how she's producing and managing NewJeans. And we'll also talk about, a certain group that recently left their label for good. So we are going to start our convo with, I will say, we've talked about them 3 weeks in a row. So personally, I feel like it's fair to say that they are podcast daughter status. Now, I know not everyone will agree, okay? I know, but they're just so adorable and they're slaying. So I always like a good slay.
They're granddaughters.
Dang, how old are we? Don't do this to us.
They did it to us. I'm just saying.
Wait, okay, we have nieces and daughters, so I guess in theory, a niece and a daughter should be like the same age. Um,
Yeah, but like, are they the same age?
that's true. I don't know because the thing is, Espa, I don't know about Espa's age, but like,
Espa's older.
okay, yeah, I've it's like comparable to New Jeans' age. So like, if Ive's like nieces, I guess New Jeans could be nieces, but they just seem so young. I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, so y'all, this is actually kind of a follow-up
Ew.
story. Wait, what happened?
What you just did, you just made a whole bunch of noises, and you're like, what? Who?
Listen, I'm just trying to keep the girls entertained, y'all. So
Uh,
last week, we had talked about how New Jeans kind of made history and are kind of doing some unprecedented things in the US, when it was revealed that their song Ditto, just 4 weeks after coming out, being released, in like about like less than 6 months or around 6 months of New Jeans existing, made history by landing at 96 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts. So it had rose up the bubbling under 100 charts, and people were wondering if it had enough momentum to break through. And so it eventually did last week, making them the first fourth gen slash fifth gen. Again, I don't know. Some of the girls are saying that there's a fifth gen, so I'm just gonna let y'all have that. The first
Still don't
fourth
get
gen
that.
slash fifth gen group to have a song on the Billboard Hot 100, and that would also make them the fastest group post debut to have a K-pop group to have a song chart on the Billboard Hot 100. So one of the other things we also mentioned was that just like Ditto had rose up on the bubbling under 100 charts, and then finally landed on the actual Billboard Hot 100, their newest single, OMG, also was number one on the bubbling under charts last week. And so people are wondering if it would have enough momentum again to break through. Well, we got our answer, y'all, because this week, OMG made its Billboard Hot 100 debut, landing at number one, so even a higher debut than Ditto. In addition to this, Ditto rose 11 spots, landing at 85 this week. So that was pretty cool to hear. Also, in addition to this, they are slaying on the oops, I didn't even change the thingy. So this is Ditto. Let me actually switch scenes. Yeah, I feel like this will give it a picture. So this is Ditto. And then we have OMG. That bunny in that negative contrast thing always really scares me. But in addition to this, they're slaying on the Korean charts because it was announced that this week, New Jeans had their 463rd perfect all kill. And what's really special about this is that them having getting this 463rd perfect all kill with Ditto means that they've now surpassed IU and her song Celebrity, and now have the most packs in history for one song of a female artist. Woo! Girl, I was like, what the hell is a pack? Because I kind of forgot.
Yeah, I
Loki.
had to look that up too because I was like, what the heck does that even mean? Now it just sounds like, is that even? I thought a perfect all kill meant you were number one for a day.
Yeah, me too. I didn't know it was an hour. Which I
Because that
guess,
sounds like
well,
not as, I don't know, it sounds weird.
yeah, I definitely see what you're saying, but I think because there's like so many charts, although I don't actually know what charts go into constituting a pack, but I know it's like a hefty amount, or whatever. But like I was like, okay, I can see it trying to kind of being hard to be simultaneously number one across the board or whatever.
But it seems like if this is the case, it seems like they would have been number one for the day, probably.
Well, I
So
think
it's like, why wouldn't you just make it a day? An hour seems like such a odd.
because with the whole like invention of like zombie hour streaming, like a song that's not necessarily that popular could hit number one and ruin your pack, like a consecutive pack, just because they have a lot
So
of
then,
fans.
yeah. So then that's weird. Wouldn't that's so? Wouldn't you want the majority packs to be just one? or whatever. I don't even know. It just seems like weird.
I guess it's true, but I feel like if it was like, oh, okay, for like a day pack, you have to have all 24 hours. Okay, but if this boy group decides to
No,
just
not
stream,
like all 24 hours. I feel like that's hard. I was
mm-hmm,
thinking like majority, like you're technically number one because you've been number one for majority of the hours. Like it's like not so much that you're 24 hours consecutively,
mm-hmm.
but so much that you are number one for that day.
Well,
Like you have,
aren't most of the charts hourly?
are they? I don't know. I
I
don't
know
know.
like
See.
Melon's not. Maybe it is. I forget. I remember they changed it. But aren't a lot of the charts hourly? I think maybe I
Hmm.
don't know. I probably should have
If that's
researched
the
this
case, I
more.
guess that makes sense that they do it hourly. But in my head, it just made more sense to just be like, wouldn't it be like daily? Because now it sounds weird when you're like 463
Yeah.
perfect all kills. I'm like, okay, what the heck? It's been out for like a month.
Yeah,
How is
I
that
do think it can
possible?
be like, yeah, I definitely see what you're saying. It's like, yeah, it's like, and definitely I was like, I would only be like tangentially in the pack conversation, so I didn't know the whatevers. So yeah, pack like seeing the numbers up in the 400, I was like, oh, that's impressive. I don't really get it, like I don't really understand how this is being calculated, but I guess it's impressive. But I think for me, because it was a IU record they broke, I was like, okay, this must be legit, like because we know she slays.
Mm.
So that was more of the angle that I was like looking at.
Oh
That
yeah,
like,
I don't think the legitimacy of it is like affected. It
mm-hmm,
just seems like a weird sounding number.
mm-hmm. No, I definitely think
This
so
is
too.
weird.
And I know there's like certified all kills, perfect. Like there's cax, packs, knacks, dax, knickknacks,
What?
knickknack, party whack, give a
What?
dog a bone. Like there's all this other
Oh
stuff, but I guess
no.
this is the one that people track now. But yeah, I think it's interesting because we're seeing them make this headway in the U.S., but they're also really holding it down in Korea. And so we had talked about this a bit last week, but now that we have more information, we've seen that both Ditto and OMG have risen. Do we see any of these singles breaking top 50, top 20, top 10, or even hitting number one? Stay in the middle, give me a skittle. What do you think?
Um, I don't know. Maybe top 50. I don't think it would be at number one, to be
You
honest.
really?
Um,
Yeah.
I just, I don't know. There's just too many songs right now that I think would stay at like near number one that would block it.
Hmm.
There's a lot of like I don't know, not a bunch, but like there's still the Taylor Swift songs, and I feel like they're still up there. There's still Miley Cyrus, who I think is number one now
Yeah.
with Flowers, and I think that just came out, so I feel like that's going to spend a bit of time there. And I don't know how long this trend on TikTok is going to last for
Hmm.
OMG. So I'm like, I don't know. Internet's hard to measure or like predict, so I don't know how it's gonna work
I
for
definitely
them.
agree. Like part of me, like my K-pop brain wants to be like, it's going, but then I'm like, okay, but I know that this is, the Billboard Hot 100 is what American like specifically are listening to, and
Yeah,
I know there's still in America there's people who don't listen to K-pop at all, and that's just like a fact. And
mm,
there's people who, when they hear people like Taylor Swift, when they hear people like SZA, when they hear people like Miley Cyrus, that's who they like are like. Of course, they're topping the charts. So people have a different opinion. But
yeah,
funny enough, on TikTok, I think that was what I was like. It's interesting because I remember at one point, and I don't know if this is still the case, a lot of celebrities, even ones that, chart decently in America, like Halsey or like Lizzo and stuff like that, a lot of them and their companies were really thirsty to get something that was trending on TikTok. So the fact that
yeah,
it seems like that Ditto and especially Oh My OMG are like have TikTok by the balls, I feel like that's like for me, that's like oh, okay, as long as this can still kind of, there's still new people finding that like weird that weird edit trend or whatever, and the song in
mm,
general, like I'll just be like following a random person and they'll just have Ditto or Oma MG in the back of their song. And I'm like, as long as people keep using it, and I don't know, maybe the fact that there's an already a dance to it and you can't like make a trendy dance to it, maybe that's hurting them, maybe that's helping
mm,
them. But to me, I feel like that's more of like a positive of like, oh, okay, because TikTok is where they're like slaying the most and like streaming and stuff, it seems like it can only go higher. I agree. I'm not sure if it will go number one. Not even Kill Bill went number one, but I can actually see them like definitely I see them breaking 50. Both of them. I'm gonna gamble and say both of them. Top 20, maybe. It would be cool. But top 10, I feel like I would need more numbers at this point. But one of the things that I did think was pretty interesting is that when I was scouring the internet, I saw some people say that they heard it on the radio. People who live in America saying that they heard it on the radio, which I think is really
Really?
interesting. Yeah. Because one of the things that back when BTS was like, their whole thing was like trying to climb the Billboard Hot 100 and trying to like their stands trying to get them staying power, was that like radio was like such a like a what do you call it, a barrier for them, because radio still plays a lot in terms of, or has a lot of pull in terms of like how things can chart. And so if you don't have radio play at all, sometimes it could be kind of hard, although we've seen with like the rise of TikTok and streaming, it's not impossible and things like that. But if they like, I don't think they have any formal radio deal, but if they start getting radio play, that's really interesting. And it seems like if they're already somewhat getting radio play, it must be just off the strength of like their songs kind of being popular. So I think that would also be an interesting thing to see how that develops. But yeah. Oh, and you kind of answered this, but my next question was going to be like, do you think they're gonna have longevity on the charts, or do you think it's just going to be like
Uh,
a cute, like maybe 80 peak and then fall off?
I will say I only think OMG will make it to 50. I don't know about
Really?
Ditto.
That's so
Only
crazy.
because OMG is the only one that is trending on TikTok. I don't Ditto's not really a
Right.
trend. It's just a good song. It's just like I don't know. I don't know if I'll see it, if it'll rise or anything.
Do you think more people will check them out and find Ditto because of, I mean, yeah, Ditto because OMG is getting so popular?
Maybe. I don't know how TikTok trends work.
Me
I don't know.
either. Youth in the chat,
So
please tell us.
there's a lot of like TikTok songs that I've heard that aren't even that are like popular, but like I don't know any other songs by that person.
That's true. That was that whole
Like
Stay
there's like that
Lazy.
hot girl bummer summer or hot girl. It's a hot girl bummer summer. Turn it up and turn it, whatever that song is. Do you know that song?
I've never heard that in my life.
It's like I don't know. They used to play that a lot. I feel like that was trending for a bit, and I feel like it got popular and was played on the radio. But I don't know any other songs by that person. I don't know who sings that song.
Hmm.
I had to like try and remember what the lyrics were and Google it because I didn't know who the heck what the song was called anymore.
Hmm.
Like, so I don't know if it's gonna be like people just not just liking the song and then
Hmm.
just ending it there. I don't know
Interesting.
how many people are
Interesting.
like that.
I mean, I've heard a lot of that kind of discourse with NewJeans, that like individually and as like actual people, they're not that popular, but people like their music and how that might fare. Although it does seem like
Mm.
they have a decent fandom too. But it's really interesting. Oh my God, youth! Why aren't you
Hmm?
youthing? Leanne says I don't have TikTok, so I have no idea.
Um.
First of all,
Well,
yeah, I was gonna say
Phil.
being better than us. Listen,
No,
um,
no, no, it's not better than me. Well, it probably is. Honestly, I should not be on TikTok. But then again, I don't know. YouTube has shorts, so it's not like having TikTok does anything because I
that's
still
true.
would find it on YouTube
That's true.
or
Um,
Instagram. So,
Tal says, so it started with a Breaking Bad edit to the tune of OMG. So it starts off as a meme and people end up actually vibing with the song.
is
Oh,
that what that was?
I think, yeah, Heisenberg, what is the guy's name? There was like that, like, oh my God, like using like that
I
kind
don't
of.
think I've seen that.
You haven't? I haven't shown you one? I feel like the one I showed
I
you where
saw the one
somebody.
that you showed me the Drake one. I saw Ryan Reynolds do it. I think those are the only two that I've seen.
Yeah, I think it's the same edit, except it's like Heisenberg, or maybe it's Jesse, or something. But
Mm.
yeah, that's funny. Now that's a good way to promote your faves. Whoever originally made that, Miss Minhyun needs to cut them a check, because they're doing God's work over here. All right, so we'll keep an eye on NewJeans, and I think we can move on to the next segment. Jazz, do you want to take this one, because I actually did not get to read to the I would literally be reading it along with you guys if I talk about it. I just
Oh
know the
God. I mean,
gist.
I'm also reading a lot. I tried to read, but like she was saying paragraph upon paragraph, and I was like, I had to keep rereading to see if I actually understood what she was saying. It's like it was just like
All
she
I
just talks. I mean, not to say she talks a lot. I mean, she was just going into depth. I don't know how the interview was going.
I was gonna say the angle. I didn't read the whole thing, but the angle I saw it from was the fact that she was like, "Not people on K-pop be other groups crusty, musty, dusted,
Mm,
busted."
honestly, that's what it kind of.
But
That's how I saw it at first.
but I guess in general, I don't know how if you guys have been hearing this, but Min Hee Jin, founder, creator, create head directive creative of NewJeans, had an interview with, I believe, is it, I don't know if it was a magazine or just a website called Scene
I don't
21.
know.
And it was pretty in depth. They talked about a lot of interesting stuff, but there was also a lot of answers she had. This is not from the interview, guys. I just found this, by the way, this picture. It's just a random picture. But
Oh,
yeah.
I was gonna say that's a better picture than I put. I was like, dang, she actually took a picture during the thing.
I just found it. Actually, AI generated this, so it's not even her. But so she had this interview. A lot of people have been side-eyeing her because some of the answers seemed a bit shady, a bit weird. Do you want to start with what you had down? Because I just,
Sure. I just like put like some highlights that I thought were interesting from like the interview.
mm-hmm,
So like the first one was like the question was the fact that the music that a former creative director and now producer chose and released became one of the most widely successful music of the music of the year means a lot. How do you interpret the music success? And then Min Hee Jin said, there are a couple factors that I emphasize, such as melodic progression or vocal style. Personally, I have very much not been a fan of the way K-pop typically handles melodic progression or vocal styles. The need to include a high-pitched part, awkward and sudden rap sections, everyone sounding the same, etc. Of course, I do respect those who enjoy this style, but I do not like these elements and wanted a world in which music without those elements can exist. I started leading overall production in order to be in control of these details. So that was
interesting.
one thing that I thought was interesting, where that's kind of like the main part where some people were having issues with.
Mm-hmm. I think the thing
Um,
is, it's interesting because first of all, the whole and I maybe I'm misinterpreting it, but the whole like everyone sounding the same. I know that's like a big not criticism, but that's a big like comment that New Jeans often gets, that all of them sound very similar and don't like
yeah,
have
that's what I
distinct.
say.
Yeah, but I think that's what you say, but I've actually are like I didn't real I was like I always thought that was like, oh, the Jasmine just says that, but like I've been reading and a lot of people say that, and I was like, oh, that's interesting that she would say that when that's one of the biggest comments of the group itself. Also I feel like
Yeah,
we can't like the awkward sudden rap section.
yeah.
um I'll
It's,
say, what do you think about that? I don't know.
I feel like there are some songs that just have random raps that I feel like it's just like they just put it in there.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't think like all songs are like that.
Yeah,
So
I agree. I mean, I think
I
it's,
feel like
sorry, what were you gonna
sorry,
say?
continue.
No, no,
You can
I was
continue.
gonna. We're so polite. No, I just thought it
Ew.
was funny because I was like, I could see that comment rubbing the wrong way, but I also feel like I've definitely heard this drag from other K-pop fans, especially with the whole,
Mhm.
oh, certain people in K-pop groups are just assigned raps because they can't sing, and so they just will shoehorn a rap here and there because, well, the member that can't sing and thus raps needs to have a part, so let's just throw this thing. So like, I don't know if people particularly got mad at her saying that, but I definitely have seen a similar criticism from K-pop fans in a whole. So I just thought that was interesting if people didn't like that because it's not like a very brand new take, I think. So,
Yeah. Well,
um,
I know that on Reddit, the place that I originally saw it, like some people were saying that like the part where she said a world in which music without those elements that she dislikes can exist, they thought that it was kind of like that's kind of like what are you saying? Like there's no music like that? Have you not heard other groups do the same type
oh
of music
yeah.
without all these high notes and random rap sections? Like there's
Hmm.
a lot of groups that do have songs like that. It's not like you're the first person to do that.
That's true.
Like they felt like she was saying that she was innovating a new entire like vibe in
Hmm.
K-pop or like genre in K-pop. When in
Yeah.
reality, it's like it's been there. It's just right now. Um, what is it? What is black? What kind of black? what is Blackpink? They're Girl Crush.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Girl Crush is just in, so it's not like it hasn't been there. It has been. It's just now Girl Crush is popular, so
Mm-hmm.
it's just that. But
Yeah.
that was one thing.
That's interesting. A lot of people are saying it's giving very not like other girls. I think.
That was another thing that I kept seeing people say. I was like, oh gosh, they're dragging this girl.
um, LD says, I definitely agree that not a lot of K-pop songs need rap. And Andre says, I'm not gonna say they don't need rap.
Mm-hmm.
I think they just don't need they don't use the raps properly in songs. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
agree. I agree.
That too,
And
yeah.
yeah. All right. So what was the next thing?
Another section or question that I thought was interesting that I just kind of like took bits and pieces from her answer
Mm-hmm.
was they asked, let's talk about the MV story. There has been a trend of adding lore or an overall narrative, but this seems absent in NewJeans. Was this a deliberate move away from the way the K-pop industry has been obsessed with in lore, or was this to give each album a different concept? And then she said, to summarize, I'm a person that is against K-pop's perspective on lore. But one could argue that our message, which we have been sending pretty consistently, is a narrative of sorts. I've read someone argue that they enjoy NewJeans for their lack of being complicated by lore building that K-pop has been pushing as of recent. Of course, NewJeans has their own stories and concepts, but they seem to like that NewJeans was not hastily building a narrative, followed by the creator's attitude of forcing symbolism and for the audience to analyze it. It seems like the community has been rather sensitive on the ideal of a self driven, independent idol. But it's ironic that they idolize this, yet welcome lore that seem to treat them as characters. Aren't those two opposing concepts? I thought that was very interesting of an
Interesting.
answer.
I think this is interesting, and the girls are gonna come for me, but I did not send for you because I would say, in my opinion, the rise of popularity of lore, not the inception of it. Listen, there's a difference between doing it first and popularizing it. Was literally BTS. So, and it was funny because I don't know if it was earlier or one of the first questions, but I did read a bit of the interview, and I remember her saying specifically that like the person was like, oh, like there's been a lot of people saying that it's strange that somebody who's associated with Hybe doesn't use Hybe producers, like the fact that
Yeah.
Adore like finds their own people to create New
She
Jeans'
actually
images and
works
stuff.
with a specific producer that used to also be
Part of SM.
part of SM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she was like, let's get it straight for the girls who don't know. New Jeans, or not New Jeans, Adore doesn't exist as like a Hybe thing. It exists as a label for me as Minhee Jin to be able to do whatever I want, essentially. So
Yeah.
I was just being like, Hybe might fund me, I guess, but like I make all the decisions. They have nothing to do with anything I do. But I think it's interesting because there is that connection there, obviously, with Hybe and
Yeah.
them. So it's like interesting that she's so it seems like she's very against something that basically the group that built Hybe was so well known for and built like their
Mhm.
their whole not image around, but was just really well known for. But I think like it's interesting as a person who kind of got exhausted with the lore. I definitely can kind of see where she's coming from with like the lore being like driven, and um I can see what she's saying about like how it's kind of weird to like want people to be independent, do it themselves idols, but then want this
Yeah.
kind of like lore that can be not only sometimes treat the members as characters, but also would clearly not be written by them. Like it's somebody else writing
Yeah.
them, which takes some of that like perceived authenticity or whatever away. I don't know. What did you think about
Yeah.
it?
I just thought it was interesting because I feel like a lot of New Jeans fans do
Yeah.
think there's lore. So
That's the
like it's like
thing.
the fact that she was like saying that someone was like saying, "Oh yeah, I'm glad New Jeans doesn't have any lore," but I'm like, who said that to you? Because like I swear that's all
Who
I see
lied?
is like people saying there's lore and like people watching OMG and trying to search for how it connects to Ditto like
Yeah.
immediately. Like I think there is some type of I don't know, she's still attracting those types of fans and I think that it's probably because she's under hype
Yeah.
technically even though she's not using their producers and all of that, but like still has like the Hybe fans
Yeah.
coming, and so they're like looking for the lore.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting.
That's so funny. It reminds me of like an exchange I saw on the Ditto MV where somebody was like writing this very, very like intense, oh, this is what it means, this is what it blah blah. And then somebody was like, just watch the video, man. Like
I'm like, thank you for that. Anyway.
that was Minhee Jin in her burner
Yeah,
account.
Minji look cute. Like, that's it. That's all I got from that. That dance was really good. Like, why are you writing a whole dissertation?
Yeah. But I agree. Like I definitely think, and maybe she wouldn't look at it as lore, but the Ditto music video, just the like interpretation of it. I guess lore
And
is
like
like
the
it's,
multiple videos.
yeah, I feel like
They
that's
created like a new thing. I was like, if you didn't want the lore, you shouldn't have done all that. You should have just kept it at the video and
yeah.
just ended
But
it.
maybe she was just like these shots in her head, it was like these shots just look interesting. Or maybe she's like, okay, there's a story there or like a narrative there, but it's not like NewJeans came from Planet Jeans or something like that.
Yeah.
So like that kind of thing.
Freaking EXO.
A little XO shade for
Exoplanet.
you. That's for you, Kyungsu. Don't think I can't come for you. You too, Shumin. Wash your back.
Wow.
But yeah. Let me jump into chat. Andre says, but doesn't that go for all the other Hybe labels that Hybe has stake in, like Playlist and stuff? I guess that's true. Like it seems like
Yeah,
people
that's what I've
operate.
always thought about. Like
Hmm.
because I feel like I brought this up before, like, is like in my head, Playlist is still its own thing. It's
Hmm.
not Hybe. Like it might be under Hybe, but I don't consider it Hybe
Hmm.
in my head. I don't know why. Like it's just a separate entity.
Yeah. No, I get that. I definitely think with Playlist though, it has the like upper hand of having existed before
Mhm.
Hybe was a thing,
True.
while
Yeah.
Adore and I guess well, Source Music
The
is Le
source music
Sserafim.
was also
Yeah. But Le Sserafim as a group didn't exist until after Source was like officially
mm,
under Hybe, so I guess people more see them as Hybe groups. At least that's how I see it.
yeah.
But it's interesting, her being like, no, there's a very distinct separation between what I do and what goes on at, like, for example, like Big Hit Music, the actual label. But yeah,
Yeah.
Aldi says, yeah, I thought they did have Leo. It's very confusing now.
Yeah.
So are the lore girlies?
She said, nah.
They're gonna have to
I
shut
don't know
it
what y'all
down.
doing. You might want to catch up on sleep because you guys have been doing too much.
Just delete the video. Delete the lore video you were about to put up. We don't need it. Leanne says, I think a cute little premise for the specific MV of the title track is the amount of lore I can handle. Anything more goes right over my head. Remember Please
Me.
Don't by K Will. That MV will be forever iconic, a cultural moment. I feel like I know
What
what
is
this
that?
is, but I feel
Is
like
that
I
like also
don't.
lore?
I don't know. It sounds
They
familiar.
will.
But
Please don't.
I agree. Like I think
Please
what started
don't.
just kind of like, as somebody who kind of saw like K-pop as like a fun release or whatever, what kind of just started to weigh on me was just like, okay, so first you have to read the Bible from front to back, and then you have to read the Odyssey
Yeah.
or whatever, the Iliad, and then that was when I
Yeah,
was
that was
like,
too much.
the truth is I'm tired, Lord. I just want some like it was too much, and it was just like, and maybe I'm not hate, just like Min Jin said, the people who found joy off of that, I'm not like whatever. Like I hate the rush to call
Yeah.
everything fake deep, fake deep, fake deep. I feel like that was
Oh
kind of
yeah,
like
yeah.
not great either.
It's just too much for me.
Yeah, but for me it was just like, I just want a nice video I can enjoy. Because I feel like also with the idea of lore, it's like this idea that everything has to be dark too. And I was like, okay, I'm
Yeah.
tired. Like
That's so true, yeah.
uh,
Which is why we should watch Magical Girl Madoka because it's all happy until it gets
okay,
you
well,
know. I don't want to spoil it. I'm just saying.
her. Hey Andy, what's
I
good?
don't know.
Andre said that's the one where Dasum was with the dude and he wanted the dude she was with. I think somebody recently explained that to me. That kind of sounds familiar.
That's like, isn't that is that Call Me Maybe?
Not K Will
Which one
plagiarizing
came
Call Me
first?
Maybe.
Oh my gosh.
Harley
Wait, how
Jepsen.
old is Call Me Maybe?
2012, so about maybe like 13 years. I mean,
Oh
11
dang, they're
years.
like around the same time.
Ooh, Carly Rae Jepsen
Who came first?
plagiarized K Will. Are we dropping a hot story? Wait a second. Okay, listen, you gotta hear first.
Starting drama.
Oh, this is such a cute emoji that Andy used. It's like a squishy peace sign. Andy also says, "Oh my god, the looks today." I'm just trying to match with my girl Min Hee Jin. I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say you look like her. What a hat does.
This is such a crummy picture of her. Am I an anti fan? We don't know.
Yes.
Not your
I mean, it's not
immediate.
like it's not NewJeans. It's just Minnie Jin.
Okay, sorry, I cut you off there, but was there any other questions that
I just had one more.
Mhm.
So the last question that I thought was interesting was that they said maybe it's because you're a producer that's been getting a lot of attention, but you've been receiving off criticisms from people who don't understand the industry. And from a third person perspective, it feels like I saw you being over criticized pretty often. How do you feel about this? How are you managing all of this on a personal level and as CEO? And then she said the industry is characterized by companies that find these underage trainees and train them. Because of this, prospective idols look for stability in management, and fandoms desire that the most for the person they support. But it's also true that due to this, fandoms maintain a hostile attitude towards these companies by default. Of course, there's been many incidents and unsolved issues, so I understand that there are criticisms. I imagine over criticizing and being excessively absorbed in the culture is the result of these unsolved issues that have just become a characteristic. My relationship with NewJeans, at the very least, is different from the stereotypical entertainment label to artist relationship, and a new kind of relationship within the media industry. I tried to read like more about if she ever describes the difference, but I don't think she really did.
She's like, believe me.
She kind of just I was like, wink, wink, wink. You got we're different.
That's very vague. Ooh, that particular answer was kind of giving not like other girls.
Yeah.
I mean, it was weird because when she was saying, "Oh, I understand these criticisms that have just become characteristics," was she saying the criticisms of her that have just become characteristics of her, or
No,
the
I think just
criticism?
of companies.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I think people are just like she's saying that people like fandoms are just always on high alert
Mm-hmm.
against like management because of like all the mismanagement that they've witnessed for
Mm-hmm.
their groups or like previous groups or whatever.
Mm.
And so like they're just putting that onto her immediately.
Oh my.
That's what it feels like. That's what I got from that.
See, the thing is, like, I don't mind that she's standing up for herself because I
Hmm.
don't, I think everyone is allowed a chance to stand up for herself, but it's kind of annoying because it's just like, what's the criticism, sis? Like, why aren't you saying,
Hmm.
yeah, people are, some of the things I've shared, the images I've shared, some of the, like with the whole cookie situation, it's like, oh, well, they're just lumping me in. Well, no, these were specific instances like where people felt uncomfortable and they felt like your response wasn't satisfactory. So trying to like sweep that under the rug as like people just, oh, well, they hate companies naturally, so they hate me. I do think there's truth to
Hmm.
that people are very skeptical because I
Yeah.
mean, just the other day we had the Omega X situation with Spire Entertainment where we found out that they were being treated bad. And so I don't think fans' hostility and skepticism is necessarily always a bad thing. But I just don't like how it seems like in this answer, she's like, they hate me because they ain't me certain. They're like, they hate me because they're projecting.
Yeah.
And even just the whole I have a different relationship. Okay, but at the end of the day, you are making money off these girls. And if they did not make you money,
Yeah.
you would not give a shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's just
Yeah.
like, okay, I don't know. Whatever. What do you think?
Yeah. She just I don't know. It does give off an I'm not like other girls type of vibe. And I just thought it was weird that she just never elaborated. Like, I'm just reading like bits and pieces of the interview, so like you guys can look it up and like
Mhm.
actually read like the full thing because she wrote like it's paragraph upon paragraph, and I was like, I don't want to read the whole entire answers to you because I'll get tired and then I'll get confused on what I'm even reading. I just become a robot just reading. Um,
Oh.
but yeah, I just felt like she didn't really get elaborate on what makes her
Mhm.
different.
Mhm.
And like it kind of just yeah,
I
she just kind of was just like, I'm different. Believe me. And yeah.
believe me. I will
And I'm
say
better.
I will say that I always thought that it would be nice or was nice or whatever for female groups to have like And, you know, I'm not saying that women can't be shady, they can't be greedy. Again, we just saw Spire Entertainment, you know, the situation. But having a female led company CEO or whatever with like a female group, because I feel like there's like, you know, certain things that like you'll just kind of get more like from being woman to woman or whatever.
That's true.
But you know, yeah, I feel like, is she like, what is she even saying here? Like, I did read something where like somebody said that like she's in like very immediate contact with their parents, so it's like there's constant discussion with their parents and stuff like that, which I think is nice, especially if that's not the standard. I'm not sure if that's not the standard, because a lot of these it should be, because a lot of these idols are underage, but I don't know how realistically like and how often the CEOs and like the people who like see what these girls do or like these young idols do from day to day are in contact. But you know, I don't know if she said that with her own lips, but if that's true, that's nice too.
I also think that's good, like easier as a CEO of a smaller company of just one.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't expect every CEO to be in contact with um, the parents, but I do
Mm-hmm.
expect them to have people that are in contact with their
Mm-hmm.
parents, like their actual managers
Yeah.
or something, like the people in charge of them. Like if
Yeah.
you don't have people that are trustworthy and like are able to contact their parents and talk to them and relay the important information, then the company's not being worked properly. Like it's
Yeah.
something's wrong.
I definitely agree. Andre says, I mean, what's the difference between her relationship with NewJeans and like JYP's relationship with the Wonder Girls? I don't know. She ain't saying
She's a girl.
anything. I'm a girl. They're a girl. They're
That's the
five girls.
only thing. She doesn't sing.
You know, that's kind of interesting. A point, because I always think it's interesting when like, I don't know, for like JYP, for example, like he obviously was like a CEO, but he also was like somebody who still wanted to sing and be an artist in his own regard. And I always say with Rain, the reason why I think J-Tune Camp flopped or whatever was because I feel like he still very much wanted to be a singer, and he wasn't in, I feel like when you decide to be somebody's CEO, and it's impossible, I think J Park, I'm not even, forget I ever said his name, like, let me not even talk about that, because sometimes I'm just like, who really from J Park's label? Never mind. Anyway, but I was like, I feel like one of the reasons he flopped is because he wasn't really ready to give the care, attention, and whatever to a group, because that meant, it's kind of like having a child. It meant putting your career and your, at least for a while, putting that on the back burner, you know, while you get your stuff together. He at least should have did it after. He at least should have waited till after he went to the army to create like a label. Maybe he did. I don't really remember. No, he didn't.
Get M Black.
Yeah, he made M Black first. Then he went to the army. Then he signed with Cube. Then
as he should have, because M Black made some good songs.
That's true. But
what you should have done was just do better. I'm kidding.
Listen to my why. Anyway, somebody new who cannot. Anyway, somebody in the beginning when he's like somebody new.
Oh yeah.
I'm like,
oh yeah. When he says I'm black.
That's literally Rain.
That always gets me. Is it?
Yeah.
Well, they have freaking what's his name in there?
Yo.
Like
Thunder.
No, June, I think.
Oh yeah. They were kind of twinning, June and Rain.
Ooh.
June and Rain looked very similar.
I thought you meant Gio.
Oh,
I
no.
was like,
not with that goatee mustache combo.
Exactly. I was like, he knew exactly how to make himself look different than everybody else. Name another artist in K-pop with a goatee or a beard. Think about it.
They weren't even real.
It's
I know
Gio.
he glued them on before each show. He was like, oh no, it's not sticking.
He drew it in. He was like, hold on. Gotta touch up.
And that Kwangya isn't even giving Laura. Oh, maybe she was firing shots at Espa. She said, I know people want Kwangya.
Firing shots at SM in general.
Oh, which is weird, because isn't that where she used to work?
Yeah, but it seems like she doesn't like them. I don't know. For some reason, when I was reading this, she was giving a vibe of like, yeah, we left. Like when she was talking about the other guy that left and made his own company for making music, she was like, yeah, we left and we understand like what we didn't like. Like we were vocal when we were SM. We hated it there, basically. Like that's what it
like,
and I was like, I'm not mad. It's just, dang. You're just out here just saying it.
yeah.
SM's still here.
It's I don't know. So was there anything else in the article that stood out or anything additional
Um,
involving the article?
that was the last thing in the article, but then after this interview came out on January 26th, I don't know how to say this company,
Yeah, I
Media
think.
Houses, Media Us is, well, there was a Media Us's columnist named Yoon Kwang Un who posted an article criticizing Heejin for being accountable when it's convenient for her,
Mm-hmm.
but when things get bad, she shies away. They stated, if you look at Min Hee-jin's interview, she uses an interesting expression. She often ties herself to NewJeans when speaking about the group and uses the word us often, repeatedly calls for criticism towards her, a misunderstanding, and goes as far as calling the criticism unprecedented, obsessive, and senile.
Not senile. What? Oh
So,
no.
and then in the article, it was also discussed how her comments about K-pop music and the industry came off as insulting to other K-pop artists. Many netizens agreed with the article and stated preference for Min Heejin to take a step back and let NewJeans have the spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also I already went over this, but like Reddit also had like a post where they were highlighting the part that I already brought up about a world without the elements that she doesn't like in K-pop, and how they thought that was a little weird.
Yeah, I definitely think if she comes out with this new, not like other girls, feeling, people are gonna start projecting that on New Jeans, and it's not gonna be very good.
Mm,
Um,
yeah,
but
I didn't
dang,
think
this
about that.
person dragged her.
Yeah.
That is pretty weird because the thing is, I think we had talked about this whole concept of like the group as in the people in the group and the members, and then the group as in everyone who's involved in creating the image of a group. So the people who make the music, which sometimes often is not actually the people in the group, the people who come up with the concepts, the people who come up with the stories, the themes around the group, the people who decide, what type of advertisements they're going to take, what kind of shows they're going to go on, and stuff like that. So in
Mm,
a way, I don't know, because I don't know like what the language and what the grammar behind like this like particular thing that this columnist was saying or whatever. But sometimes I feel
yeah.
like, yeah, I think the group as in like the concept of the group, and then the group as in the individual members of the group, those are two separate things, but they can both be technically the same thing. Like I guess you would say New
Yeah.
Jeans in their team as opposed to New Jeans, but like New Jeans as a entity, or like EXO as an entity, or like
Yeah.
BTS as an entity, is a result of a bunch of people getting together and creating like the people in the group and then the people that create
Yeah.
everything else. So, but yeah, that's kind of weird. I can see too.
I think she also said, like, I remember at the end of like the translation that I was looking at, the person was like, yeah, she also brought up the fact that she considers it like the criticism towards her, she doesn't understand it because it's like she considers herself more like she's like a director of a movie and New Jeans are the actors.
Mm-hmm.
And like you don't see that like people getting up in arms about the director saying stuff about their type, like what they've done for the movie
Mm-hmm.
and whatnot. So I was like,
Interesting.
I get that,
I mean, I
but
guess, but I guess because with the actors, it's the line between the characters they play and the actors themselves are more
yeah,
distinct than the new jeans as people and new jeans as like the image you created when you created this group and the concept. So,
yeah.
but
I
yeah.
also think it's like easier for director because it's like this is a one time thing. Like this is a movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's pushed out. I get the criticism immediately, and then that's it. Like that's the only time that we are going to be a team, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so you can say what you want about that because like if it's good criticism you can say what you want and all of that, but if with her it's like she's always going to be attached to this, to just them,
Yeah.
and it's going to be multiple like releases. So
Mm-hmm.
and like you don't know how it's going to change over time. I don't know how to describe.
No, I definitely see
Like,
like yeah, I feel like the permanency, unless she resigns, she's going to be, you know, there's going to be one thing versus like if a director directs a movie, okay, those actors can go on to new roles. The director
mm,
can direct new things. So it's like it's a lot more impermanent or whatever. Like
mm.
that makes sense. But yeah. Leanne says, in social psych, we learn about internal and external attribution, and I feel like that's what's happening here. For her and NewJeans' success, it's all because inherent characteristic or personality trait. But for controversies, it's she blames it on situational factors like other people's misunderstandings or haters. Huh. Interesting. So it's like basically like, well, I can understand because I feel like it's the human condition to not want to be blamed when it's bad, like want all the
Yeah.
good things of a situation, but none of the bad things. But I didn't know there was like a term for it. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Yes. Are we about to graduate with degrees too? Did I just get a psych degree? Can I
I
be
was
a
gonna say something bad about psych.
psych, the major?
Yes. Because I'm like, you can't just do, you can get psych and then, but you can't do anything with that.
Okay, so
You
psych
have to go and do your doctor stuff.
is psychology, and psychiatry is the one who can ascribe meds. Psychology is the person are like therapists, but they can't prescribe medicine. So
I get them
you have to have a
confused.
doctorate to be a psychologist, right?
I think so.
Oh.
The one that you prescribe, I think you have to get your doctorate. And then I don't even know like what you really need. Like I feel like with psychology, you still need to do stuff no matter
Yeah, I
what
would
you do.
imagine because that's like a lot. Like even if it's
Yeah.
like because somebody's telling you very personal things about themselves, and like I feel like you need to know how to respond, especially in the case if they like,
Yeah.
not that all like therapy type sessions are like this, but if they want to harm themselves. So I imagine you have to have a lot of training just in like people skills and things like that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Type
Which
of
is
thing.
why if we had psychology degrees, please don't trust us still. I don't know, Jack.
Leanne says, "Hey, I might as well do something with this degree because Lord knows if I'll be able to after I graduate." No,
No, no, you can still just, shadow somebody.
make a YouTube channel,
Intern. Well.
make a psych tick. I don't know, to get some coin on the side. I heard that was
TikTok.
popular. TikTok.
That's how you get it. That download TikTok and then get on top of that. Or YouTube Shorts.
Yeah, let's do that because it's less saturated. Download YouTube Shorts. Download
Is that an
Ask
app?
Jeeves. All
You
right.
say Ask Jeeves?
Download Yahoo Map. Okay. Download
It's
Yelp.
actually called ask.com now. Thank you very much.
Download Penguin Club. No, just kidding.
Oh gosh,
Anyways.
they closed that down for real, for real.
No. All right, guys. We have a couple ones that I'm gonna kind of through
Scooter?
because like
You're gonna scooter your way
yeah.
out of
Scooter my
Oh
way
my
out of.
God.
Okay, Scooter Braun, this man here, Exhibit Z. So here's the gag. Like I was like, okay, Scooter Braun becomes sole CEO of Hybe America. Great. But the thing is, he was co-CEOs since 2001. So it's like not even like he's like, okay, I'm here to rock
You said
your world.
2001?
Oh, sorry. Imagine 2001. 2000.
Oh, I was like, how did he know?
How did he know that he really loves them?
Honestly.
2021. My busy. But yeah. Listen, I'm not saying TikTok psychologist as a negative, but like you never know. People love that kind of quick, cute facts, like quick, facts, tidbits. Also, hello, Mango has taken over me. Hello. So yes, so he was co-CEOs with a man named Lenzo Yoon, who had been in like the Hybe BTS sphere since 2010. And I guess this Lenzo Yoon person stepped down. And so now he is the head honch CEO of the whole entire thing. And then there was also that whole thing with it where a couple years ago, Ithaca Holdings, which was his company, merged with Hybe, which gave Hybe 100% stake in Ithaca and its properties, which includes like, client management over like Justin Bieber and stuff like that. And then so during that merger, he joined the board of Hybe, and then retained the CEO title of his American business, Ithaca Holdings. So I really know if this was much of like a big thing as like a lot of people made it out to be, but I know a lot of people don't like him. You know, he's famous for managing people like Justin Bieber and Ariana Grande, but a lot of their fans claim that he has overworked them in multiple occasions and made them, like somebody was saying how like shortly or around the time Mac Miller passed away, he still like made Ariana Grande do like certain things. And then also he was involved in the whole issue with Taylor Swift and her masters and how he was trying to sell it, but she didn't want to, so she had to end up re-recording everything. So people don't like him. But the biggest thing that a lot of people were like, oh, well, now that NewJeans seems to be popping in the American market, does this mean he's going to have, you know, a big say in how that direction directs? But I mean, I read this before I read that article, but according to Min Hee Jin, they can't tell him what anything. Like, I don't think this is true. I guess they won't, because Adore does whatever they want. So I really don't know how that factors, but
That's true.
I don't know. That's
I will. Mm, I wonder. Like, do all the does it subsidiaries
yeah.
like just go with them and also?
I don't know. Because I think that would be weird. Like, for example, like prior to like joining Hype, I believe, like not SNSD 17 had like done tours in like America and like been to KCON.
Yeah.
So there's clearly somebody who was managing that aspect of their
Mm.
careers. So it's very weird if all of a sudden they all have to go through Scooter Braun and his teeth. But yeah. Why are they looking like that? They're almost translucent. Maybe I'm jealous, but
Oh my gosh. Translucent.
they're too white. But yeah. Yeah, Andre says I'll never forgive him for his role in the Taylor Swift stuff. That was so messed up. But lucky for
Yeah.
her, people were like, okay, we can get on board with these re-records. Because with JoJo, my girl Joj, people weren't.
I still don't understand that.
I mean, it was like the same thing. They had the rights.
Yeah, I
and
know. But it
yeah.
was just like, why do people do like what do you think you're gaining from that?
They just would rather have somebody suffer than make any money off of something, I guess. It's a mess. But yeah, so that's your Hype King, y'all. That's the overlord of Hype in our parts. So, and you'll catch him at KCON. Catch him at KCON 2023. With that white shirt. Okay, let's move on. No, because the shirt matches the teeth and it doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay. All right, moving on.
His teeth are white, you know?
But too white.
Clean teeth.
All right, moving on to Momoland. So an end of an an end of an era and an era. On January 17th, so yesterday, MLD Entertainment announced that Momoland's contract has expired with the agency. The statement reads, "Hello, this is MLD Entertainment. First of all, we sincerely thank the fans who cherish and support Momoland. After a lengthy discussion with Momoland, we respect each other's opinions and agree to terminate the exclusive contract upon expiration of the contract period. We express our deepest gratitude to Momoland, who has been with us for a long time, and we will sincerely wish the best for the members' future endeavors. We would like to ask fans to show unchanging love and support to the 6 members who are about to start anew. Thank you." So, the girls. And it seemed like most Momoland fans were like, yes, thank you. We hate you, MLD. But there was a lot of questions as to what happened with Momoland. Like, what's going on? What's going on? Because it is honestly weird to remember how like poppin' they were during the boom era and then to see what kind of is happening now. So I don't know. What do you think played a role in the trajectory of Momoland's career? Do you think it was simply just bad management from MLD? What do you think they could have done better? Jasmine, please write us a 14-paragraph statement.
Gosh, please no. I don't know. I just think, for me at least, what made me like fall out of like even following up with them was just that their songs after Boom 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 were just the same type of song. And I think that didn't help. And then I was already discussing this with you before that like I remember reading that people were saying like Blackpink got on the rise during the same time that I think Bam came out and all of that with doo 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 whatever do times three.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I think that like also like overshadowed a lot of the things that they were doing because I thought in my eyes that they were being promoted pretty decently because I felt like I saw Julie a lot, I saw Nancy a lot, I saw their names a lot during that time period
Mm-hmm.
of Boom Boom, and I thought they were like everywhere for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it's like mismanagement or if it's just like I don't know, people just stopped paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like how we were just discussing the TikTok stuff, where it's like some people will be there for that one song, but then they're not really checking them out for the next one because it's
Mm-hmm.
just like I like that one song, and then I'm not. I don't know. I don't feel like the need to check them out again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's kind of it's really weird, and I feel like I don't know, nowadays it's like so like I feel like it's just such a great like era, especially for girl groups because like we see these girl groups have like rival numbers with boy groups in terms of like music like physical album sales, them being able to hold concerts, them being able to, just really build fan places in ways that I feel like, certain girl groups earlier on kind of struggled with because there was this whole bias of like, oh well, girl groups are popular among the public and they have the hit songs, and then boy groups have the fandom, but because of that they have the longevity and things like that. And even with the whole talking about how like when they released Bam Bam they like fall yeah, boom boom, they followed it up with like 14 other songs that sounded similar. That's such like a thing that's like I feel like very an old school, maybe not super old school because 2018 wasn't that long ago, but like kind of old school like approach where we got a hit song. Now all of our hit songs have to sound exactly the same.
Yeah.
Because I remember making a comment about how that like, I guess somebody was like criticizing like how EXID does that. And I'm like, well, everyone does that. And then I was like, well, recently, no, not everyone does that. Like when they get a hit song, the next song
Mhm.
sounds exactly like it. But a lot of groups did. And, it worked with varying degrees or whatever. But yeah, I felt I like when I was reading about this, I was like, dang, I'm really out of my depth here because I don't think I followed them closely enough to really know what went on
Yeah.
there. I do remember hearing some like really strange, questionable stuff going on in terms of how they were like promoting or how they were like just treating Nancy. And then yeah, I
Mm.
always, feel like, okay, let's put some effort in, when all the songs kind of sound the same. But I don't know because it's like it's really hard when a group blows up with a hit song because like unfortunately that never guarantees anything. Like there's so many like instances where somebody has a huge hit and then they just don't, it doesn't go anywhere, and it's crazy, and it's like sometimes
Yeah.
there's like no rhyme or reason, but like we have boom boom, and I do think like Bam, people did pay attention to that. I feel like personally that's kind of when I didn't like keep as close of an eye on after Bam.
Yeah.
But it also kind of reminds me of like Crayon Pop when they um blew up with
Bar.
Bar and stuff like that. But it just kind of made me think in general, like when a group, especially a girl group, has a hit song, what is like a good set of what should a company do exactly? And I think I'm kind of asking the chat, and then also if we like think of ideas where somebody did get a hit and then what they did to make sure they didn't just fall into redundancy and they were able to build a fandom, because I guess that's like the big thing, right? Being able to make sure you're building a fandom with this new visibility, and that can be very very hard because sometimes you just don't know what people want to actually stand versus just listen to in passing. But yeah, I was just like, yeah, it just really is really weird because yeah, I remember where it was like when this song came out and it was like totally their year and they're everywhere. But even then, like we were saying to the whole like Blackpink do do do, I remember it being a big hit, but then them not like winning many things at the end of the year award shows, which is just like
Mm.
just because you didn't win a day song doesn't mean like it wasn't a popular song, but sometimes winning stuff helps your legacy survive time, just like the natural
Yeah.
people forgetting things that happen. So it was all just very like interesting. But I'm going to jump into the chat. So Andy says Momoland deserved better, like so many girl groups. Andre says, I mean, Yummy Yummy Love was a great song to leave them off with. LD says mostly bad management and their songs sounding the same. Andy says, I'm So Hot was pretty popular if I remember correctly. I remember that
Mm.
song, so I kind of like that does kind of ring a bell. Do you remember that song? I'm So Hot?
Oh, I thought it was the version by Blackpink.
No,
So-
the version of the Wonder Girl song of Blackpink.
yeah,
No,
because
they
didn't they
haven't.
do that song?
Did Momoland do So Hot?
No, Blackpink.
Yeah, Blackpink did a cover of So Hot. So Hot, but
Yeah,
like
that's what I thought.
no, we're talking about a whole different thing.
What's I've never heard I'm So Hot by.
I remember it coming out. Like I couldn't sing it right now, but I remember it coming out. Andre says, I definitely think it's mismanagement because how do you lose 3 members right when they blow up?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Andy says, yeah, the whole Daisy situation, Yeonwoo leaving, being kicked out really took a role.
Yeah, what happened with Yeon? Wasn't that weird? Like, because wasn't she like one of their most popular members?
I don't remember any of this. Can you guys actually fill me in?
Yeah, like I feel like I remember this, but I also don't.
Andy says a lot of companies just want to replicate that success, hence the similar sounding comebacks. Yeah, and that's why I feel so. Sometimes I feel so like when I see a company or a group with a really good concept and they're killing it, and it's just like really cool. I feel like, oh, this is awesome, but I feel it makes me always feel so bad for the people in a company who just has no direction and doesn't really seem like they put a lot of like thought or like attentive detail
Into the sound,
into the concept, into how their image and things like that. It's just like they were like hoping, and to be fair, everyone's hoping to just strike gold. Yeah. But I think you can hope to strike gold whilst like really trying your hardest to really produce the best thing you can. And then there's like hoping to strike gold and just throwing anything at the wall, and then like doing the most like, you know, low effort, like the basically bare minimum to like produce a song or whatever. So it's just kind of sad because I'm like, I wish everyone got that same effort put towards them, because at least even if you don't break even, or you don't, you know, become big, you can at least say like, oh well, I got to sing quality songs, get quality concepts. Not the saying that like Momoland didn't get those things, but I'm just saying in general.
Yeah.
Andy says Yeonwoo was very popular. Leanne says MLD said Yeonwoo would be leaving and being an actress, but Yeonwoo later said that she didn't leave because she wanted to.
Interesting.
Scary. Andre says, yeah, Yeonwoo was like hella popular member, and after I'm So Hot, they randomly like she's leaving the group to become an actress. Daisy was on hiatus because she allegedly was dating the icon.
Oh yeah, okay, I remember.
Whoa, okay, trash. My bad. Okay, yes, Leanne.
Yeah, I forgot about this. Yeah, they're wrong. Mismanagement and the songs.
A mess. Andre says, and then Taeha was just on hiatus for whatever reason. They didn't make sense. What a mess. Andy says, oh yeah, I remember her company was like, yeah, we're dating, and then YG was like, haha, no. That's always so awkward when that kind of happens. It's like, y'all can't call each other. A mess. Hey Jordy, welcome to the stream. Leanne says, and then Daisy spoke out against MLD for a bunch of stuff like treatment, not paying, and then some shady stuff surrounding the reality TV Momoland was formed through. Oh my gosh, wait a second. And here I thought this was just like because the thing is, what I was like thinking of, because I totally forgot that like during the Boom Boom era, they had like a Sejuki scandal. And I was like, maybe that's why like people, it like maybe didn't pop off. But it seems like, nah, it's just that MLD's kind of just bad. Like they didn't really do it. Oh, okay. I think I kind of remember the accusation that Finding Momoland was rigged. I think all those shows are rigged.
Yeah, they're so rigged.
It's like I feel like there's different levels of rigation, but I definitely think I truly think every single like one of those shows are rigged. Whether it's because I feel like, and this was always one of those hot debates with Produce 101 was like, you can rig it by like straight up just being like, these are the members we want in. And no matter what the actual votes are or whatever, at the end of the day, we're just going to say that these are the ones that were most whatever. But I always feel like people miscount how you perceive to, or how a show decides to like display somebody can be rigged. Like if they only display when you're like cracking, or when you like, accidentally gave somebody a dirty look or something like that, even though you have so many other highlights that actually happen, they're clearly trying to make you look bad. Or if they like, if you know you're out here sounding like trash, but then they like only show the one time you hit the note. And they're trying to rig it to make you look good. Like there's so many levels of rigation you can do with these shows. So trash. They're all trash. But yeah, yeah. Taeha still wanted to be a singer after she left and went on another survival shows. I'm also tired of survival shows. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm starting to feel like they're exploitative, but I mean, I feel like if that's the case with all this stuff and this just really poor management, I feel like the best thing that could have happened for them is just being able to leave when the things inspired. But now that you guys are saying that, because I was gonna say post leaving, do you think they're gonna stay together? I feel like maybe not.
But why?
I feel like maybe not. I don't know. I would be tired. Like I mean, maybe they're like, we gotta prove that it was just the company, and with the company out of the way, we can, but I would be tired.
I guess, yeah.
The truth is I'm tired. Hi Michael, welcome to the stream. Michael says Girl/Boy Planet is basically the Produce revamped. Love you both. Hi, love you too. Yeah, honestly, I don't get why everyone, after we had trashed Mnet for being associated with Produce, people are like, but Girls Planet though? Like, what are y'all doing?
Also, can I say, I thought Boys Planet already started, and then I realized it hasn't, because somebody, like, I just saw a teaser for episode 1. I thought this had already been, like episode, 10 or something. I thought we were, I don't know. It seems like they've been advertising this for so long in my head.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know. Like, I didn't even know it was coming. I mean, I assume like if they're gonna do a Girls Planet, they're gonna do a Boys Planet, but I hadn't heard high nor tail. Is that what the saying is? Of
I think we talked about it.
Did we on
this?
Because
Hugh is gonna be in it.
Oh yeah, we did, and everyone was like, "Why is he on this show with these?" Oh, yikes. Okay, then I'll keep a.
Dang, you even deleted it from your head.
Here's the thing.
Not happening.
I don't like the person I become when I become really involved in these survival shows, so that's also why I avoid them. And I don't like the people that other people become too. People are so nasty.
I think it's mainly the people that you talk to.
Stop! What are you saying? I be in the gutters?
Because I don't know. When I watch Produce 101, the season 2 one, I feel like I was like very. I don't know. I guess because my favorites were.
Yeah, I was gonna say. If your faves are the popular, no, because even if your faves are the popular ones, then they get hate anyway because they're popular, and then other people are coming.
And
for
then
them.
I don't go on the. I feel like did I go on the forums?
I think that was my mistake.
The faves were just not hated. Like I liked Ong Sung-woo. I liked. What's his name? Wow, I'm forgetting everybody's names. It was like
that's also a funny thing. It's like your life for like Daniel, 4 months, and then you don't care.
And then there's the other guy, Jaehwan, and like the three of them would always be like grouped together as like a trio, and they're like, I don't know. I feel like nobody hated them.
I feel like Daniel kind of got hate, right? I mean, from people
he probably
who
did because he was number 1, but like,
yeah,
I feel like nobody really hated him.
I did.
I don't know. Maybe they did, and I just.
I mean, I feel like anyone.
I also wasn't a Daniel fan. I was more Sungwoo.
Ah, okay. So you're like, I didn't really care that much. No,
but it was just a package deal. I feel like
you stand one, you stand the other. But I always think it's just so funny because people are like, this person sucks. Like they're so untalented, blah blah. And then they like make the group and with their fave, and they're like, oh my god, like look at them. Like look at them.
That's so true.
It's just like you literally were wishing death upon this person's family 2 seconds ago, and now that they made the group and you can't do anything about it, you're like, yay!
Yeah,
we stand.
What's her name? What was her name in the first season?
Somi?
No, they hated that one girl that came in with the shark costume.
Who?
Hey,
yeah, the one that
was like, they hated her. They were like, this girl can't do anything, and then she's in the group, and they're like, oh, she's so cute. When's she gonna get lines? Why is she got so much better? Like, what are we doing? She got 0 lines this time. What are we doing?
The memory loss amongst survival show fans needs to be addressed. I'm so sorry. It's a mess. But yeah, people are just so toxic. Or I love when they're just like, oh my god, I will literally my brains, I will like if this person makes it in the group and my fave doesn't make it in the group, I will literally destroy the earth as I know it. And then the show ends. Maybe their fave doesn't make it, the other person makes it, or neither of them make it, and they're just like, anyway, moving on with my life. It's like, you were literally the most toxic, demonic person 2 seconds ago, just for you not to even care about this group when they're actually made. You were literally threatening everyone and their mamas and uncles, and now you're just gonna walk away. Oh,
we gotta get ready for the next season. I gotta save my anger for the next season so I can torment you guys then.
Exactly. It's such a mess. Didn't they hate the girl group who was in co-ed school and was almost in SNSD? They fudged the hideout. Chanmi was
that poor girl. She was like, "This is my 5th and final time. I swear I'm not old." And then they were like, "You're old anyway." And you messed up that line? How dare you? Get out.
And wasn't she a victim of evil editing? Like, they made her always like look like she was scowling at people. But I feel like particularly her, like her family, like literally, like, I don't know, made a petition to the Blue House because it was like, it was such egregious the way they would like evil edit her. Poor girl. She was trying to become an idol for like 34 years. Yeah. The whole time, like, SNSD had a career, became like the top girl group, literally not went into retirement, but like, moved on, and like, it's still, hurts. That hurts me to know. Yeah. I think at some point I would just be like, you know what, maybe that wasn't the life I was meant to live.
Yeah. But I'd hate that.
Let me make it NFT.
I wouldn't let it happen.
Okay, so if you were supposed to be an SNSD, you got you kicked out, and then you saw them become the most popular girl group, whatever, to this day, would you still be like, I was once almost an SNSD in 1933, but I'm still working my way. Ooh, I was almost SNSD.
I make an album.
The album.
After it blows up, I'll be like, you know what, guys? I know you want me to do an album, so here I am, and then I'll do that album. It gets bigger in K-pop than anything SNSD has ever done, and I'll be like, you know what? This is it. Redemption.
And then you wake up.
Yeah, honestly. If only it was that easy. Because I don't even like writing, so that would never happen.
Wait, she was in a bullying scammer? She was in a bullying camel? She was in a bullying scandal? Oh, girl. She sat in the first chair and was like, this is my song, and then couldn't even do the high note. Oh, because they specifically were, because they would always sing Into the New World or whatever. That was literally like the Pledge of Allegiance for those survival shows. And so she,
as it should be, embarrassing.
I would not, if I was her, I would have touched an SNSD song with a 50-foot pole. Not because I don't think she's capable, but because that's just gonna bring the comparisons. And for every person who's like, let's see what this girl got, there's gonna be a person who's like, well, we know why you're kicked out of SNSD. You hag.
Well, that's why you gotta make sure you can do it. If she obviously couldn't, well, I don't know. Maybe she could do it. I don't remember how it sounded. But you gotta make sure that you are warmed up. You have hit that note several times before, and you can do it in your sleep. Otherwise, just aim for the second hardest section. I don't know.
Exactly. So it's like easy, but you can still like, oh, kiss head you one day. I don't even know if that's the song. Didn't she have some racist stuff come out about? Okay, well,
maybe there was no evil editing. Maybe it was just real, and her family is just delusional.
Maybe the evil editing was just editing without the evil. A mess. All right, but yeah. So we'll look out for Momoland. But whoa, what is that? I think I'm getting something. Reporting live, it's Jazz with Jazz. We need our bills paid, all right? So
he's doing something.
Is our boy unemployed?
He did something.
Did he file for unemployment?
No, but he's dancing. He danced to a song that he is. I don't think he's performed this song. But it's a song that's on his his only album. I was gonna say his latest album, but like his only album. It's called Feedback. I actually like it a lot, but I I don't think he's ever performed it, but he did a dance practice, and it was pretty good.
Mhm.
I liked the dancing. He looked good as usual. Um, but yeah, you should check that out. That's like the only thing that I think he did this week, but I thought it was
Mhm.
a pleasant surprise because, like, as I said, I didn't even know there was a dance,
Yeah, I was
and
gonna
to have a
say
dance practice for it.
that's really cute. Was there a particular reason why he dropped it now, or is it just random?
I don't think so. I think it was random.
Oh, yeah, that's always like nice for fans. Has he had like a instance where he performed all the albums on his song? Like, did he do any type of showcase?
No,
Oh, okay. So where is
he
this
only does.
choreography from, or did they just make it up
Yeah,
for?
that's what I'm saying. I was like, I've never
Oh,
seen him perform this, so I'm like, I don't. Interesting.
yeah, I feel like
Oh,
that's really
hopefully that
sweet.
means he'll start performing it because that would be cool.
Yeah, and I feel like it's like a really like just like nice treat for like fans. But
Yeah,
um okay, he avoids the unemployment line
you know,
today. Um
unlike the next person. Saying.
the thing is, okay, here's the thing. I don't Kevin Disciples don't come for me unless I send for you because I'm not saying that he doesn't have a job. I'm just saying I could not find the job he has. No, just kidding. There's a movie. There's a movie
Wow.
that he that's supposed to oops, not you. There's a
Ooh, wait, go
movie.
back. Hold on. There's something going on that other
Not
page.
go back. There's a movie, him looking like an egg, but the hairline is
I was gonna say, why'd
Hermione.
you put this picture when you hate this hair?
Because honestly, he looked kind of cute in it. So I was like, okay, we'll give him you looking like a gym teacher. But yeah, he he is going to be in a movie this year called The Moon. And I think it's a Netflix original, but it literally
Oh,
was filmed in
oops.
2021, and that's how I know about
What the
it.
heck?
But like there's no more information about it, so I don't know. Like I thought like by now we would have like some type of trailer or teaser, but there was nothing I could that wasn't from like when he was originally filming it that I could talk about. So I know he's out there, I know he has jobs in the works, but unfortunately I'm gonna have to hit him with one of these. I'm sorry, King Staples, I tried, all
Wow.
right, I tried for our fave, but at least I used a cute
There doesn't seem
picture.
like there's any information about this. It just
Yeah.
says release date 2022.
Oh, I thought it was 2023.
Well, the thing is, no, I don't think that's real because it just says 2022. There's no date.
Oh my god, is this a phantom movie? Is this movie even real?
No, I think the movie's okay. Here we go. My drama list has a date of 2023.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought. I was like, did I make that up? Honestly, I was like, did I make this thing up altogether? Like, is this
A
show even
fever
exist?
dream. How does it have ratings? It didn't even come out.
Because they know that Kyung only does like excellent work. So why would they even wait for it to come out? Like, we know what it is.
Interesting.
Listen, but yeah. So unfortunately, he is jobless. But that's okay because we know it won't last long. We know that he has something in the works, and sometimes that's all you really need. Also, there's this really cute gif of him that I'm going to show, and sure, I'm wasting time right now, but that's fine. Okay, okay, Chin. Okay,
Is this
Ankle.
Don't Fight the Feeling?
I think it's kind of old. I just kind of randomly found it on my TL, but he's cute. All right, y'all. I'm sorry. He's unemployed. I'm sorry, Kyungsu's fans. All right, moving on. We're going to move on to a classic fan segment known as Flop or Bop. So we had a couple songs this week, and shout outs to you, Jazz, because you basically picked them all. Half of these things I didn't even hear of. But
I told you I had to go and search this up. Well, this one I saw, but some of them I was like, who is coming back? Because I don't think I know anybody that's coming back.
But this is actually very topical because like I had mentioned in our chat that I actually randomly saw the Coconut girl. She just randomly came up on my Instagram feed or whatever, and she had like this.
Mhm.
It was that viral rap you linked, but I was like, oh, I didn't even know. So do you want to
I
give a
feel like you
little?
had like a different experience than I did. You said people were dragging her, but
Yeah,
like when I
well,
saw it and it was on my TikTok and people were like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing." And then I was like, "Ooh, it actually does sound good."
some people, I mean, the thing is there it was just a very heated debate. Like some people were dragging her, some people were saying it was really, really good. But do you want to
Mm.
give the background on this group?
Well, I'm not even sure if it can I'm pretty sure it's not K-pop technically. I guess
Okay,
it's like
moving on. No, just
I keep seeing people say it's like Asian pop, I guess, because it's just like I don't even know if it's Asian pop. I just think it's pop. I don't even know
kidding.
because it's technically a Japanese group because it's
Mhm.
Avex. It's an Avex
Oh.
group, but they're in the Korean. They they trained in Korea, and their producer is Simon from Dalmatian. I don't know if you remember that group,
Oh,
that boy group
wow.
from
What a
like a while.
throwback.
Yeah, he's the producer for them. So they have a Korean producer, um, and they sing in English. So it's like very weird. So like I've like gotten to like a hole of just like all XG for like the last 3 days. But like when they introduced themselves, they had like little introduction videos, but they spoke in Korean, English, and Japanese in the video. Like
Interesting.
they would switch between each language every now and then, and it's very interesting. So I'm just like I don't know what they are considered. They consider themselves a global group, I guess.
Oh,
So
you
I guess
know,
it's global pop.
you know who this reminds me of?
Hmm. What?
Intersection.
Ooh,
Do not do this. Intersection. I would literally have that song on a repeat in our apartment in 2019. Intersection.
Oh my gosh!
Who do you love?
I
How
forgot.
dare?
I was like
How
I was
dare?
like, who? I thought you were talking about that one group from America or whatever that went to Korea and started doing K-pop. Remember?
Oh my God, Expedition, your
Yeah,
faves.
that's right. Those are yours.
She loves them down. It's
You loved
actually
Hans,
wild.
or whatever his name was. I
Don't say the
don't
made
think
up
that was his
names we
name.
have.
No, I don't think that's his name.
She loves, no, y'all remember Expedition? She loves them every single iteration. Before they kicked out the two black guys, after they kicked out the two black guys.
Two plus. What was that one part?
When he say less, can he say no? When he say
Yeah.
what?
And that was just a weird dance. I was like, sir, what are you doing? If you haven't seen it, please watch it. Like, look up Expedition
Yeah, the college experiment
performance.
group. Yeah, they started as a
Yeah.
college experiment and then
Ooh.
kept going even off. It was
Yeah.
interesting. I think it was interesting how
They
far
were,
they were able to get because they actually were like performing on
yeah.
like Inkigayo, and I will say they actually were good at singing. Like,
Oh yeah, they were very good at singing. I
yeah,
just don't think they were meant for. It was giving K-pop the musical for me,
yeah.
where it was like you're just a musical singer singing K-pop.
Dekaji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dekaji. Dekaji.
But
I was
they
like,
were
what the
really
heck?
good though at singing. But
Yeah.
yes. Wait, isn't Hikaru from Kepler?
Oh yeah, and then I was gonna say, and I read this that Hikaru like was confirmed by Simon that she's supposed to join after Kepler. Like she joined, what is it? Girls Planet 99.
Mhm.
But she trained with these girls for 5 years to be in this
Wow.
group.
She better skedaddle because people seem to love them. Not
Oh
to say
yeah.
people don't love Kepler, but I feel like this is that the video. Yeah, this video has like 3.4 million views, and it was only uploaded like 3 days ago, right?
Yeah. I feel like I'm like a million of those views. I
So
love
we'll
this
say
music video.
2.4
I
million
so...
in Jess. 2.4 million in Jess.
But the only reason I actually heard about them was because like when that Baby Monster dance video that they released came
Mhm.
out, people were like, this is like XG. Like I feel like this is like they could be like XG with like more training. And I was like, who's that? I was like, whatever. I moved on with my life. But then like
It's so dramatically
I
said.
kept seeing compilations of them as well, of like their song Mascara that came out like before
Mhm.
this one. And I remember I was like, I don't really like this. So
Yeah.
I was like, I'm never. I also saw their tippy toe dance thing because they do a cool like kind of Michael Jackson, like the Annie Are You Okay type, where he kind of like goes like that,
Mhm.
like
In
I'm
this
talking about the
song or in the
vertical.
mascara?
In Tippy Toes,
Oh.
that was their debut song.
Oh,
So I
okay.
like kind of saw them here and there. I just never really thought about them.
Mhm.
But then on Spotify, I heard their song Left Right, which is a B-side for this
Yeah.
song.
It's very
And I was like,
catchy.
this is so good.
It's
I was
very
like,
catchy.
maybe I should listen to them. And
Yeah.
then I saw this video and I was like in love. So like the music video is just so good. It's like it just gives me 2000s vibes,
Mm,
and I love it so much. Like it gives me 2000s hip hop like music video
mm-hmm.
vibes, the way it looks, and then their dancing is just so good. Like they're so the
Yeah.
styling was great. I love the blue hair. The transitions were great. Oh my gosh. And the
Yeah.
song's just good.
I agree. I was like, who are these people? But then when like I think it was weird because I like watched and I was like, this is good sonically, and then I listened to Left and Right, and I was like, okay, I see kind of what they're going for here. And Left and Right, I feel like immediately I was drawn to. I thought it was very good, and then I listened to
Yeah.
this one again. I was like, okay, yeah, this is really good. And I think it's funny because I did then look at Mascara since you have it. You mentioned it in your comments, but I was like, yeah, like if I would have just saw them at Mascara, I wouldn't have cared. And I feel like it's just
Yeah.
like a Tenton or example of how like if you have the full package and you really know what you're going for conceptual wise, it really just makes, because the concept with Mascara, it wasn't a horrible song, but it was just very bland. But now really
Yeah.
just heavily leaning into this Y2K like sound
Yeah.
and Y2K, I feel like it makes them a lot more like charming and listenable too. So I really like it. Um I said they remind me of a more like hip hop influenced NewJeans.
Which is
Also,
funny. I was gonna say, like, I saw a YouTube short of like someone saying like Shooting Star is basically New Jeans and Blackpink had a baby, and I was like, that's I can see that
NewJeans, but
because it's basically what you said.
Minheejin hates it because it has rap in it.
Oh gosh.
But I really like the chorus. All right. Well, I feel like we're both like positive about it. So I'm gonna turn this to the community because I mean they can have as many views as they want, but the truth is whether the Sleepy Idol bar patrons think that this song is a flop or a bop. Like that's what we need to know. So
Yeah.
y'all. All right. So as we
Doesn't
go.
matter. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. So it
Oh
really
yeah, I was
is.
gonna say I didn't ask the rating. 10? You think it's a thought?
Yeah. Oh
10.
yeah, this is like everything
Dang, Red
about
Velvet, you
it's
hear
just so
this?
good. Like the concept, like it just looks so good. Like the music video, every time I look at it, I'm like, there's a new like transition that I didn't even realize was just like so smooth.
You're standing. Oh my gosh. Red Velvet, I'm sorry, but this band,
Honestly, this is
Jasmine.
like it reminds me of Dum Dum. Like kind of like Dum Dum had like really nice.
Mm,
I love the Dum Dum music video. I think
hmm
I'm a sucker for like I don't know, just having good visuals and good transitions and like
Yeah.
making everybody look kind of cool together. Like it just like looks so I don't know.
Dang, you
It
are
gets me
standing
hyped for the
out.
song.
Yeah, no, me too. I definitely think like just knowing that like effort goes into it and it like all coming together can make it like just basically bring a song or a concept to like another level a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just end the poll here because it seems like everyone is on board that this song is a certified bop. So Hikaru, get you better
So
hurry up,
good.
wrap up with the Kepler, come back here. This is where it's at, girl. All right, moving on to they were probably one of the first really like talked about candidates of being the podcast, one of the first podcast nephews. So this was a very important comeback for them because it's like if they really want to ascend to podcast nephew status, they're going to have to convince us they deserve the title. And so of course I'm talking about the fact that one TXT has released one oopsies Sugar Rush Ride. um some of these pictures I have are pretty terrible, so I'll just use this one. So yeah, Jazz, we can start with you. What did you think about this most recent comeback?
I'm like honestly trying song sounds like and honestly now I from 3 different locations. So now it's like playing in my ear and I was like trying to talk. Sorry. Um I liked it. So I thought it was like all right at first, like the first part.
Mm-hmm.
And then then the pre-chorus happened and I was like, wait, where the heck is this heading? And then the chorus happened and I was like, wait a minute, what the heck? And then I forgot what the rest of the song sounded like for a second because I was like, wait, is this the same thing? Um but I really like how they switched it up because it was like very smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was like I didn't like I could tell it was happening, but it didn't feel like I was like it was like jarring. It was like more like a roller coaster ride where it's just like, ooh, oh, okay. And then you like do a little loop de loop and you're like, oh my gosh. And then yeah, I thought it was like a pretty solid song. And then I really like the gimme gimme more part.
That was really catchy. Yeah. I still am like saying I feel like that's a reference to our girl Britney Spears, but maybe I'm wrong. It was really give me more, but like kind of like differently like paced or whatever. But yeah, I for the most part agree. I will say though, like, so the beginning I was like immediately into it. I put a note here how it reminded me of Moves Like Jagger, which is one of my favorite, like, I guess you would say, what are their names? Maroon 5 songs or whatever. So I really, really liked that. And it did throw me off guard when it like switched to the pre-chorus and then the chorus. But what I thought was really weird is that when it was switching from the sound of, you know, the beginning, the chorus to the pre-chorus and then like kind of slowing down, becoming like really sensual or whatever, I think that worked. But then when it went back to like the Moves Like Jagger type, I feel like that was a kind of clunky transition. Like it just kind of seemed out of place at that point to me. But like, you know, it wasn't like horrendous where I was like, yeah! Like, you know, it was just like, oh, that was a bit weird. And it kind of made it seem really like me, like be like, okay, this is part A, this is part B, kind of like it just seemed like a whole different song. I will say that like they are 5 to me. I'm sorry to the girlies.
Honestly, yeah.
So when they were like,
I saw that you put that. I do remember seeing that and being like, Hyun and Kai, like, what are we doing here? You're literally
exactly.
10.
Especially
like,
with
we all know you're 10. And then I was like, isn't someone else even the same age as him or something in that group?
Yeah,
so
I was like,
y'all are too young for this.
Yeah, I was confused, but I guess it's like giving us something different for the girls who like for the girls their age, giving them something. Because it definitely was like, you know, okay, they're gambling, or I really don't know how old they are, but they're very young to me. But like, so that was a bit like, okay, interesting, not for me, but you know, go ahead, you know, share your stuff if that's what you choose to show.
He's 20 now, I guess that makes sense.
I mean,
he was a baby. At one point.
But another thing is that at the Give Me War, when they go like this, I was like, why are they stealing my whole personality? I want it back because I invented this. No, I just thought it was really, really funny because again, it's supposed to be like this sensual song and it's like, give me more. And again, this might mean a whole different thing than when I'm interpreting it, but when I see this, I mean, I think ding ding ding, shy,
ding ding,
yeah, ding ding ding,
you're gonna say ding ding,
ding 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 ding, ding. Type thing. And then like the Sugar Rush Shush was so funny because I know it's like Sugar Rush Ush, but to me it sounds like Sugar Rush Shush. Like, so I'm like, Sugar Rush Shush. But yeah. I mean, the thing is, they're old to someone. Like they're the same, but to me, like it's just very young kids. And like I'm not trying to
just am stuck at them being like the when they debuted.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure Hyun and Kai was like a minor when they first debuted, and I was just like, and you could tell with the music that they were trying to go for like more cutesy.
Yeah, that's another type thing. Of music. Where it's just like that's kind of what I remember. But then again, like Good Boy Gone Bad and like Frost and stuff like that, they weren't really cutesy. So I could see like it's not like new.
I was thinking that like because I messaged you earlier because I was like on a forum like for unpopular opinions, and somebody was like, I like Good Boy Gone Bad, and I was like, do people not like that song? And then I went in there and I realized that a lot of the fans don't like that song. Like they just don't like the song. And I was just like, interesting. And so I was like, I'm wondering if they did this song because it like you said it was like Moves Like Jagger in the beginning, and I feel like that's probably the sound that their fans are used to and like. So I wonder if they took that and then they're like, but we also still want to show you that we do want to do Good Boy Gone Bad Frost type songs. So like they added the chorus, and then like they were like, but you're still getting Moves Like Jagger. Like don't worry, stay around. We'll come back to that part that you like.
That would be really, really interesting. But yeah, it does. I could kind of I guess it's like a little because even like the imagery is more like it's more like Blue Hour, very grandiose, like like a fantastical type thing. Even though like it's the sound is a bit more like sensual-ish, like at the like chorus and pre-chorus. So it definitely is like a mix of both worlds or whatever. Like when I like looking at the thumbnail in the beginning, you could not tell it was gonna go well, at least to me. I wouldn't have known it would have this song would eventually go in the direction it is. But yeah, I'm just sad because it's a very catchy song, but it didn't grab me as much as some of their other stuff that made me like, oh, let me stay on for a second, that came out last year. So but yeah, I definitely think it's nice. I'm gonna throw up a poll in the chat so y'all start to get to voting. And actually, while we're getting votes from that, we can go into the last song we had, which is from our freaking AI overlords, M-Wave. Did I spell their name wrong? No, it's M.
No, it's Maeve.
Maeve. I thought she said M. Maybe she spelled it.
I feel like they do say like M-Wave or something. I don't know what they say.
Very strange.
These little strange things. I don't know what they are. AI.
So these girls are trying to put Kwangya, Espa, and
it's Maeve.
Okay, Maeve.
They said make a wave, and then they say it's Maeve.
Oh, okay. So Maeve, they're putting Kwangya out of business. They're putting KDA out of business. They're putting Espa out of business because they're an AI pop group. And this actually has a lot of views. This has over 3 million views, if I can recall. But who are they from? Like, where's this? Why are they here? I'm just kidding.
Well, they crash landed. I was looking at their K-pop profiles because of course they all have K-pop profiles. One of them crash landed in Korea, so she speaks only Korean. The other one crash landed in France, so she speaks French and Korean. Another one crash landed in the US, so she speaks English and Korean. I don't know why they all just speak Korean by default. I don't know. And then another one, I forgot where she landed. I think it was like somewhere in Southeast Asia.
Mm-hmm.
And I just find it very weird that they have languages that they can speak and they have hobbies and likes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Very odd.
As somebody who was like kind of on like the V-idol, what is they called? VTuber like thingy. I can't lie and not say like there's a market for this, because there's definitely is, and I've seen it grow. I've seen it become, super lucrative. I've seen it become super obsessive. But I'm just like, to me, I'm like, they look like KDA, they look like Espa's avatars. So it's like, if you were gonna do this, you should have did this like 4 years ago, because I just feel like it's all looks very done before, like, because the thing is, like, I thought I was gonna like come in here and clown, but like the song's pretty good. It basically sounds like Pop Stars knockoff, but like it's decent. Them, it's funny because them when they're just kind of standing there or getting close-up shots look scary, but the dancing animation is actually kind of fluid. Like I like it actually doesn't look too bad. It actually doesn't look too bad. So it's like not even like that is whatever, but I just feel like, why?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They even had they have like YouTube shorts of them doing the dance by themselves, and I'm like, y'all are not real people. Stop this. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop it.
I don't know.
Weird.
Yeah, and I just feel like, that whole thing with the chat GTP or whatever, chat GLP or chat GAP, yeah.
GPT.
Yeah, and how recently there's like these things of people just being like, yeah, we're gonna fire certain employees and then like just use the chat. Yeah, apparently BuzzFeed.
Who?
Well, BuzzFeed, we don't have high expectations for them to begin with, but apparently they laid off like 12% of their like staff like last month, and then it was announced that they're going to use chat GPT to write like articles and come up with content and stuff like that. And so it's like content.
This thing just came out. They're just trusting their whole entire livelihood.
That's what I was saying. I was like, okay, girls, you're literally just like, some way we can streamline and not pay people, throw these people away and use the freaking AI chat. And so when I see stuff like that, I don't really think we'll ever get to a point where people will, well, I don't know, because I guess VTubers to a sense is literally the equivalent of like replacing real people with like a fake AI perfect like all the time person or whatever. But you know, there's still real people behind those VTubers, and there's technically real people behind this. Like you were like talking about how it's like, oh, for the dance scenes in this song, they probably like had one of those like freaking body thingies and had somebody actually do the dance and then just like, you know, mapped that. And there's obviously somebody who sings for them, and there's like a video you had sent where they actually introduced themselves, and that's probably somebody's voice or whatever. But like for the most part, it's like their likeness and making them do X, Y, and Z that's up to somebody else. So that might be easier to work with an idol than an actual real idol. But I feel like it's just sad because I feel like a lot of these technologies are just replacing people in the arts. Like, and just like, because I don't,
it doesn't make any sense, because creativity, I don't think you can, at least not at this time, just automate it. It doesn't, like, I feel like that's what creativity is. It's like you think outside the box, and I feel like computers can't really think outside the box. It's like they have a box, and they usually think within that box.
That's
they might give you ideas that you can jump off of, but they can't give you fully fleshed out ideas usually. Consistently.
Especially with that that AI thing. I feel like I'm like that AI chat thing. I'm like, people I feel like are being a bit too, because even then I was thinking like, if you make it shoot out ideas, it was like trained on something, like it's getting it from somewhere. So why, who says it's not just taking it from somewhere else and being like, here's an idea, and like, you know, if you
it already exists,
flesh it out, maybe you can make it more unique to yourself. But there's still that level of human interaction in taking that maybe as a prompt or a suggestion. But like just being like, we're just gonna use it to write our stories or whatever, that's kind of insane. But Andy says, I can't believe what I'm saying, but isn't Navis supposed to make a debut come back?
I was gonna say, I saw that and I was like, I'm just not gonna click into this because I don't know what this means. But then I think somebody explained it that they're probably she's probably just gonna be in aespa's next comeback. And I was like, okay, whatever. At least they're coming back. Hopefully, they come back, and then she just kind of like shows up. I'm like, okay, I can ignore you. Like, I don't need her actually existing outside of aespa.
That's funny. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know how serious they were with that character thing, whatever the group. I don't know. Is Navis like one person, or is it their avatar name group?
It's that one person. Like there's a picture of her. I think she's like in one of the music videos. But she's a person.
That's scary.
By herself.
All right, I just wanted to cycle back real quick.
We love you.
They love you. But just wanted to circle back. So you guys voted Sugar Rush Ride as a bop, and now I'm gonna throw the poll up for
Sugar Rush
Nave, and we can see what you guys thought, for those of you guys who got a chance to listen. Overall the song was okay. I feel like it's just more interesting.
The song's not bad.
And I do think them, like, as some of you guys have been mentioning in chat and Jazz mentioning, they actually performed live, and your questions in the notes were so funny because you were like, what is the audience even seeing when they perform? And I was like, that's kind of true. What are they seeing?
I was so scared. They started cheering. I was like, hold up, cheering for who? What is up there? Like, then I saw a comment, like somebody saying like they probably put a fake audience.
That's
like,
what I thought.
Random cheering. And I was like, oh,
or just
that makes more sense, because I was like, imagine showing up for a recording and it's just nothing up there, and they're just like saying like clap now, and you're just like woo, but like when are the people coming on the stage?
That's so true. So the poll is up. Oh my god, not the immediate flop tag. Y'all
no.
Why y'all ruthless? Listen, when when Mavites come,
I don't think it was bad.
The thing is, I don't think it was bad. It was just basic.
Yeah, it was basic, but it's not. I don't think it was like I would never listen to this again.
Yeah, I wouldn't go out of my way. Like, if it just like randomly came up on my workout playlist, I wouldn't be like, but like, you know,
scrambling.
But yeah, it would be really like, I do think there's probably some companies that if this was like the way to go and like people were like really lining up to stand like AI groups, they would definitely do it. But I hope people appreciate like, you know, why like a real person why people like real people. Like, what do you want me to say? Like, I don't even know. Like, you know, like I
They
like
have
these companies.
earpieces in their
That's
in that picture.
hilarious. That's hilarious.
Like what the?
Like it's kind of disturbing, yeah, a little.
And they all look the same. I'm so sorry. I had to say it. I
Yeah.
was looking at their K profiles and I was like, who the heck is
They
who?
could only pay for one base model. Honestly, that was the thing that also creeped me out because it's like, who's to say that they don't just like model one after Karina or like Irene or like Silky or
Yeah.
something like that? And like, where does that lie in terms of like legality and copyright and stuff? Because
Yeah.
that's really weird. What powers them? What happens when the Wi-Fi goes down?
Oh.
Oh God.
Well, that's the point. They don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I think I lost your first half. Okay. Leon says, for me, it's flop on principle because I would rather listen to actual people singing over machines. That's true. And I wonder if it would get to that point because I think for them, it's actual, like, real people just singing behind, you know, fake avatars or whatever. But I know that
Milli
there's
Vanilli.
been, yeah, there's been this most, that's so true. There's been this, thing with, like, AI music where you can, like, if you can, like, I guess there's, like, a voice pack you can upload and then they can use of like an artist and they can use that to create like there's this thing where it's like, oh, this is Ariana Grande's demo of like Lizzo's song or something, but what they really did was just take like a Ariana Grande voice pack and then run it through this like AI music
I don't
module.
like that.
Yeah, it's really creepy and people keep
I
like playing around. I don't know if they're kidding.
That's like freaking deep fakes, but worse. It's like now you're
Yeah.
adding sound to it.
Yeah.
Ew,
I think
you
that
could just.
what was that Drake singing the NewJeans song. I think that's what it was.
Oh, well then that sounds
That
bad.
was
Nobody
bad,
wants
but
to hear that.
that was bad. But I think there's different ones because I've heard like they
Oh,
have
I thought.
Normani singing. Actually, I don't know if this was actually a real one, or it was a
Mm.
fake thingy. But it was just like taking people's voice tracks and stuff. But yeah,
I thought that was just them taking different parts. Like you know how some people will do the thing where it's like they'll take a person speaking from different locations and then make a song out of
oh
it.
yeah,
That's what I thought.
oh maybe. But I saw on the or on like Twitter that people are like, oh yeah, people are just running. They're like running people's voice packs through these
Hmm.
machines and then like saying, oh, it's a demo, it's a secret lost demo and stuff like that. But maybe.
Even.
um Andre says, honestly, the pigtail one looks like a mix of Yeji and Karina. The one with the buns reminds me of Ray, and the ponytail one of Liz from Ive. Yeah. I mean, I feel like they probably just
At least
take
you can
what
tell
are
the
the
difference.
girls that are known as pretty in K-pop? What do they look like? Let's just make them look like amalgamation. That's probably why they look similar because if you're just layering a bunch of faces on top of each other that
Mm,
all have
this
like,
become one.
yeah, especially if you're particularly picking people who have certain idealistic
Mm,
features, you know?
true, yeah.
But yeah, it's really scary and uncanny valley. I think that's what it is. Like if they're like very obviously supposed to be like cartoony, I feel like I would feel like more like okay. But because they're supposed to look like real people. But this is our first official flop of the night. Y'all are saying
Well,
the song is actually flop or you just hate the concept, but either way,
yeah.
it got majority flop vote. Which I feel like is our
Um,
first flop in a while. We haven't really had
yeah.
flops. But yeah, so
Well,
ending
someone's got
that
to flop. Well,
ending
can't
that
all
off on a high
be
note.
Bob's.
Yeah. All right, guys. So I'm trying to be strict with myself and keep the show more concise because last time we went like 3 hours plus. So unfortunately, we have technically reached the end of our show. I think I'm gonna try
Oh
to work
no.
on like restructuring it so we'll have more time at the end to kind of talk about whatever, or maybe throw that in the beginning. I guess we kind
Yeah.
of did that though. You know, with our little anime talk. But thank you so
Yeah.
much, guys, for hanging out, sitting back, relaxing. Jazz, do you have any last words you have for the people before we wrap up for tonight? And call it a day.
Stan XG.
Dan
Also,
XG.
random thought, but like for I've been listening to this song for like so much. Like it's so bad. Like it's in my dreams. Um like I think all my
That sounds
videos link to like another like every time a video ends, it'll go to an XG. type video now on YouTube. But for some reason, in my head, I keep thinking Bad Boy by Red Velvet and Shooting Star would be a very, very good mashup. And like, I always sing it like at the end. Like, it just sounds like it would be such a great, like the bridge into the end just sounds like the bridge and the end of Bad Boy would mesh very well, overlapped in a certain way.
Oh.
Like, not like one to one, but like if you like kind of spaced out Bad Boy a little bit more, like a little slower,
Yeah.
it would fit. And I really want to learn how to make mashups, but I can't. So
I feel like you
just
still owe us the you like not mashup.
I sent it to you. You just never.
When? Where?
A while ago.
on Facebook?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, y'all. I'll drop it tonight. Y'all will see. Well,
No, don't drop anything. You have to find it.
I'll
first.
drop it tonight.
And did I actually send it?
So get out of here.
You'll never know. You'll never know.
But that would be really interesting. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for hanging out. You don't gotta go home, but you gotta get the heck out of here because we're wrapping up. Okay, last calls, get your last drinks in. There's a bar down that you can, if you want to keep the party going, down the left corner, turn right. But if you hit the lamppost, you've gone too far. So crawl up the lamppost, jump on the roof, do a backflip off the roof into the trash can. It will take you into a secret tunnel that will lead you actually back into the Sleepy Idol. Here's what you need to do: crawl down the tunnel, take a left, take a right, then a left, then go back, take a left, and then you'll find the bar. But anyway.
Wow.
Thank you guys so much. And harass Jazz and we can get Anime Club. Imagine I'm just like harass Jazz.
I gave suggestions. I'm trying.
All right,
you gotta
guys.
give me good suggestions to watch.
I would do Madoka Magica. It's just that I want to not feel depressed. So I don't want to watch it because it would make me so sad. But yeah. Bye everyone and see you next time on what is it this way? The Sleepy Idol. See ya. Give me more. Give me.
Give me more.
More. Bye everyone. Bye.